Yo, what is good? What is good? It is, you already know, War for Wakanda launch party day. And in about 26 minutes, we're going to be able to actually see what they have in store for us in this stream. We know that they're going to do interviews with the devs and the actors and actresses, as well as a deep dive into Black Panther's skills, of a max level one, basically in a harm room, and they're gonna play 2 story missions. Whether or not you want to see that, that's up to you. But overall, I think this is going to be pretty interesting. They said that there's some things that they still have in store for us to see, so I'm quite interested to see what that is, because Play Avengers has put out a lot of stuff over the last couple of days, like a lot. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. All right, what's up, Neo? What's up, Slender X? What's up, DZ? What is goody? Is the pre-download ready for it? I don't know if there's a pre-download necessarily. I think it's just an update that will happen. Was update? Oh, I forgot what the number is, but tomorrow it'll at some point pop up. They have different times that they have it ready for different platforms, so it varies. From what I remember, the last 2 DLCs, I mean, it was like somewhere, I want to say between, what was it, 9, 10 ish, somewhere around there. But I more or less, I mean, you just have to wait for the update file to show up. But yeah, we're gonna react to this live all together. There are a lot of people reacting to it. I want to see everybody's reaction to whatever they show, because it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, especially whatever they show in the first 2 story missions. I think that'll be pretty captivating for some people, in my opinion. I don't know how extensive they'll go into Black Panther's skills and stuff, though, because last time when they had the people on stream to explain that stuff, they went in detail a little bit, but they left it very vague, so you kind of go figure some stuff out for yourself. And I like that. I don't want them to explain too much. You got to have people be able to go figure out what's the best customizations for them, etc., etc. I see you transferring over, Neo. Twitch, you got to pick one, Twitch or YouTube. Can't be both. One or the other, man. All right. By the way, I uploaded a video literally like 45 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. If you guys want to check that out, it's just a smushed together video talking about everything that we've basically dealt with in this game in terms of story, the main story at least. If you always want to see like a video of me trying to explain all of the side stories that they have going on, I can do another one in that style. But if you guys like it, drop a like on it, comment, let me know, because that's the first time I've done a video kind of recapping a game like that in terms of its story. So if you guys like that, definitely say something. Don't forget, we got Discord on Twitch. You can hit the exclamation Discord, exclamation YouTube, exclamation Twitter, and those following links will pop up. YouTube, I'm sorry, you got to check the description. Still working on that. But yeah, Discord, Twitch, all that stuff. You can find it. Anyways, yeah, 23 minutes. Okay, so I have a challenge. Okay. We have to try to beat this Mega Hive in 23 minutes. Do you think we can do it? And I'm going to have to do it by myself. Do you guys think we can do it? I'm going to bring in my best characters and see what we can do. Oh, jeez. My TV's kind of loud, isn't it, today? Gotta be quiet, bro. Okay. And if that gets too loud for you, just let me know and I'll mute it. Yeah, I'll bring Thor in first. Thor is actually okay, so I actually took a bit to look into revealing too much his build. That shit is fucking insane. I don't even have all the right, I have pieces for it, but it's not even like done in terms of getting good stats, but like it does pretty decent. You better bring in that war table. Oh, I will in 22 minutes. Got stuff to watch today. No AI. Oh, it's fine. I don't. That's the point. It's a lot easier when you don't deal with AI, in my opinion. It allows you to focus more on getting. I mean, like, you can move through this pretty fast by yourself, as opposed to with AI too. AI just get in the way sometimes. That's all I've noticed. But yeah, I have to get through this as fast as possible. So okay. And if I try to wait for matchmaking, it's gonna take way too long, and I'm not trying to do all that. Plus, there are people that kind of just they join and then they leave. Like, if you're not gonna play, don't play. Like, I don't understand your thought for loading into a match like that. If you're not gonna play, don't load in. Simple. Don't do that shit where you like fucking say, oh, I'm gonna go off AFK real quick and then I'll hop back on. Nope. It's either you play or you don't. Unless we're like, I know you or a squad, then I'll wait for you. But like, you know, you can't count on me to protect you. Like, I gotta know you. Or you gotta be on mic for that. Because half the time people aren't even on mic. Yeah, okay, we might be beautiful. I should have brought Cat. Okay, for non Dapo, that's it? Cool. Because usually there's a fucking Exos or a Dapo, that's it. Alright. Here we go. We're gonna try to do this in 20 minutes. We're gonna bring in Cap for the next one, just to make it go faster. Because he can one-shot everything pretty much. Well, one-shot at anything that's not Adaptoid or Exos. Those take a little bit, like 2-3 extra hits. But yeah. Anyways, again, this is a dual stream. We'll be doing a dual stream tomorrow as well, YouTube and Twitch. So mingle amongst yourselves. This is how it's going to be on these type of streams. And we'll have one of these. We'll have 2 streams actually tomorrow. Tomorrow is Watch Party Day and War for Wakanda Day. I know, surprise, surprise. Gonna be doing missions with Black Panther. Yeah. Trust me. I'm gonna get him done. So literally, like, I'm gonna get him done while I'm playing the campaign. How about that? Actually, no, I can't do that. I mean, maybe it's possible. It just depends what you do. Oh my gosh, let it charge up all the way. Let it charge up all the way. It's not the best build right now. You know, it's got some kinks to get worked out. And I need to work on getting a better piece for this intrinsic. It's not popping off like it should be, but we can get it. It's 19 minutes. Okay, 6 floors. Okay, we're done. The ones that have objectives like capture stuff and defend, I can get through pretty fast, but like those ones where I gotta take out enemies, it might be a little bit of a problem. Gonna use a booster. Man, you better save them boosters, bro. Like, them boosters, they're only meant for Spider-Man, okay? I literally can't believe I bought this set. I didn't even know that they put it in there, though. Like, I thought that was intentional. Apparently, it might be a bug that they put that in there. Alright, see, this is pretty easy. Okay, thank you. Whatever that was. Okay. Yep. You're dead. Where you at? Yep, you're dead. They took out. No, they didn't take out She-Hulk. She's still in here. In one of these. Oh, she's right there. Look. Just, you see she's green. It's She-Hulk. I told you. It's She-Hulk. I've been trying to tell you guys, She-Hulk is already in the game. She just uses a gun. And you can't play as her yet. She's not finished. How crazy is it? Okay. I've seen a few people talk about that in Discord. Was it Hyrule's Discord? Was it you, Jazzy? Was it you or was it Alpha? I think it was you. About how they would either reveal, potentially reveal She-Hulk or Winter Soldier. Or were you trying to say War Machine? One of you guys was talking about that. I have many boosters. Spidey's covered. True, true. I mean, I guess you can only use one at a time, so at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter, right? As long as you have one. But you know me, I'm gonna be doing Up from the Depths 200 times. It's gonna be a good time doing that. It's not gonna be boring. Sitting there and beating the Adaptoid 200 times and resetting every time. Alright. Alright. 3 out of 6. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. This is kind of risky. I know the last floor only has 5. No, the last stage has only 5 floors. So if I take in cap, it's a high possibility. I would just have to really be on my shit. Okay. Come on. Oh gosh. Looking at IGN's chat right now. I need a better wait. If anybody has a link, just put the link to the actual main stream because I don't know, IGN is kind of weird. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, you're done. I might not be able to finish this, you guys. I really might not be able to. Yeah, but if any of you guys have a rich stream, just put it in chat. I don't know if I want to watch IGN's now. That was just the first one. Oh my gosh, can you not? Just that. Of course. Okay, what else? Who else is left? Fuck. Who else? Bro. Bro, what? No. Who else? Oh, what the fuck? Jesus Christ, bro. I can't believe you did like that right there. That's fucking... That was whack. Man, everybody's live, man. Everybody's live today. That's crazy, isn't it? Literally, everybody. Anybody who plays Marvel's Avengers and streams regularly and makes videos is live right now. Oh God. He's in this chat? Oh, that's fucking hilarious. He's in this fucking chat? Bro, no way. That's fucking hilarious.
These enemies must be
I can't wait for when we... Hold on. I gotta focus a little bit. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to even do this. It's already pretty close. We're not doing good on time. I shouldn't have used Thor, knowing that he wasn't done yet. But my Kate probably could do a lot better than right now in terms of speed. Just by spamming Scattershot early. Oh, there we go. We got a crit off for once. Oh my God! Oh, shit. Jesus Christ! Who else is left? Stop moving. Okay. I'm gonna read that in a second, DZ. Okay, cool. That was a good one. That was a fast one. 4, 5. And then after this one. Okay, where? Play with Black Panther? Man, I wish I was one of these lucky people that could play Black Panther early, but I can't. That'd be crazy though. I'm small, upcoming content creator. Can't wait for it. Did you type it?
Elite aim team is close by and on alert.
Did you type it twice?
Updating your HUD. There's a chest with gear close by.
Now I gotta see, did you type the same message twice or am I tripping? Or no, it's 2 different messages. Damn, this dude is really still in this chat. That's fucking hilarious to me. For a guy who doesn't really like playing it, that's funny. Okay. Can't wait to find out one guy. Oh, they already exist, DZ. Those people already exist. Trust me. You can find them right now. They literally are in chats. Not in this chat, but you can find them in the stream chats for what we're about to watch in a little bit. Yeah, actually, I should move that so we don't see that chat because that fucking shit is horrendous. Okay, if they pop up with a countdown after this countdown, like a countdown saying, oh, now we're starting stream in like 10 minutes, I'll be happy because I actually want to get this fucking mega hype done. I don't care about it. Just die. Okay. Want to become famous? Oof. I'm gonna have to ban you, good sir. We can't have bots in here. We already got alerted of other bots. We can't have more bots in here. You know?
Head for the location on your HUD.
I have to do it in a little bit. Hold on. Okay. So we're at floor 6. I don't know if we're not gonna make it in time. We're not gonna make it. People getting Black Panther early? No, no one's getting Black. Only person that's gotten Black Panther early is people that work at Crystal Dynamics. But I guess nowadays that's anybody, because people make up stuff on Reddit. What? Who the fuck? Okay, I was looking for you. Okay, thank you. That would be great if that was the end of it, though. Alright. Can you not? Can you not? Like, no. Thank you. Okay, that was really easy. I was trying to ban the bot. I have to make you a mod for that, DZ. I'm not doing any of that yet. Not yet. Not yet. Soon though. Soon though. If we hit 50 followers on Twitch, I will consider making somebody a mod. But that means I have to hit 50. Right now I'm at a comfortable spot where I'm just at 37. You know, we're just hanging, chilling. By the way, you know, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button on YouTube, you know. We're slowly growing. We regressed a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, we regressed, but that's my fault. You know, I'm not making videos all the time. That's my fault. Yeah, you know, hit that subscribe button. Content coming, streams, watch parties, all that. You want to be there, trust me. Yeah, I have to ban that person later. I can't do it right now. I'm trying to. Yes, I know I'm wearing this ugly ass skin. Don't tell me. Don't tell me about it in the chat. Don't tell me about it. Okay, I got my reasons. Oh, defeat all targets? Well, fuck me. Okay, is that it? Please? Please? No! Why are you all the way over there? Thank you. Who else? Come on. Who else? Who else? Jesus. Fucking hell. Nope. Sit your ass down. Sit down. Who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Of course you're losing. There's a really, really low chance of me beating this in the time that I am allotting myself. Yeah, no. I should have... Look at this. I should have taken care of this like a long time ago. Oh, we got to 102. How about that? While we're here, while I'm in the elevator, let me get the stream ready. So we don't see this horrendous chat, if you know what I mean. What the fuck are you singing, Cap? Cap, what is this? Do you hear that? What was he whistling? That's the actual song, isn't it? It sounds familiar. Leave me alone, don't hit me. If I somehow got to the 4th floor and I... Oh shit. I don't think it would let me. I got 5 minutes left. And I don't know. Yeah, I got 5 minutes left. Okay. I don't need all these fucking loading screens. Or the song from Guardians of the Galaxy in the intro? Which intro? You talking about in the intro when he was just whistling just now? Because if that's the case, then I kind of hear it too. Oh my god. Can you just... No. I just want to get this done. Don't be a douche. Don't be a douche. Oh my god. No, get out of here. I really should have done this like last night. Get out. Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm gonna have to fight you anyway, but like, just let me do my objective. Star-Lord dancing across the temple. Oh. Oh. Interesting. Interesting. Oh my god. Can you not? Why are you here? My low ass defense. Take that, bitch. Wow. See, it's easier if you play by yourself. It's just you're doing it like me with 4 minutes left. You're not gonna get it done. If I had actually done it earlier, I would be done. But I was working on a video, so can you blame me? Can you blame me? I legit wrote a script for that too. Like, that's the first time I've actually like written a whole script for a video and used it. Usually I just wing it. I wouldn't want to say wing it, but like I write notes. It's just when I make videos, if I read off a script, it sounds way too scripted. Like, it's not the same as acting for me, because acting implies that you would remember your lines ahead of time and you just know them to a T, versus making a script, it's, you know, you read it off a piece of paper, and I don't like doing that because it sounds way too fake for me, and you can kind of tell like it's very being read off a script in that video. However, it fits the tone of that video because I am actually reading off a script, and that was intended. Okay, go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Are we done? Great. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. That is... What's up, Keller? How you doing? We're just chilling here, waiting on these last 2 minutes before it actually starts here. I'm just playing some Marvel's Avengers while we wait. Once the stream is ready, I will change our screens and yeah, we will watch it live together.
AIM has a set of turbines powering one of their emergency generators. Disable them.
Yeah, the expansion comes tomorrow. I don't know what the download, like when the download is actually going to appear, like the update file, but it is tomorrow. Presumably, I would say think around maybe reset time, maybe 9, 10 o'clock PST, at least convert that to your own time. But yeah, usually it's somewhere near reset time, hopefully. But there's no guarantee. They kind of tell us the day of. They might tell us today, though. We'll see. Oh my god. Of course I get that fucking adaptoid. Like, you can't give me the fucking ice adaptoid. The Creo one. You have to give me the Graviton one. No. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. 1 minute left. 1 minute left. Here we go. Who is it? Oh, you? I might die. Wow. I was about to say, how many of you are there? Oh, there's 2 of you. Great. You're dead. You're dead. "22 seconds. Who's my main? I don't have a main. I play as everybody most of the time. I just don't have builds for everybody. That's the thing. But if you want to define like by build who I main, I mean Captain America kind of. But I'm done with him right now. I mean he's done for now. All right. It is starting. So here we go. That might have been a little jabby there. Sorry. Hopefully that didn't cause an issue. And let me put the volume on.
The Black Panther said they had no vibranium to give.
Oh wow.
He slit my father's throat. That panther is dead.
This looks to be story.
We'll have to do. You and your people.
Let me know if you can hear that. If you can't hear it, tell me.
And it is from outside us. That is not like you.
Oh wow. That's actually it's from the ad today.
Accepting help. I am giving it.
Then let me send teams to the
Okay.
sites.
That
Take the Dora Milaje
is
with you. Do
looks to be
something
like a
about
drill or
driving
something.
myself headfirst into danger.
I am not just a king on a throne.
I'm digging the outfit there though. You hear it? Is it decent enough for you to hear though?
I will.
Otherwise, let me know. Oh, crossbones. Let's cook and go. Hype.
Increase your spiritual side.
What is that?
Here they come.
Oh shit. Oh, that's fucking tight. That is tight. Holy shit. It's fucking tight. It's decent enough for me anyway. I'm okay. Well, if anybody pops in, yo, ooh, that is fucking
Welcome to the war
tight.
table for Wakanda, a walkthrough of the new expansion starring Black Panther, coming to Marvel's Avengers tomorrow at no additional cost.
All right, guys,
War
here
for
we go.
Wakanda is an exciting new release that aims at refreshing the Marvel's Avengers experience and is the largest and most ambitious expansion since launch. We're excited to welcome Black Panther
Hold
to
on.
Marvel's
I might need to
Avengers,
fix
and
something
today
really quick,
we're
so
going to share details with
give me
you
like
about the story campaign, new gameplay,
Ooh.
enemies, and more.
2.5
And
seconds.
of course, we couldn't
It'll
bring
be
the
gone
king
for like
to
2.5
Avengers without
seconds.
also bringing his kingdom.
Promise you.
So we'll be unveiling some new details and footage of Wakanda as well. To ensure our War for Wakanda story justice to such an important hero, our narrative team enlisted
it's
the
back.
help of well-known writer and Black Panther expert Evan Narcisse, author of the
Read that
Rise
book.
of the Black
It's
Panther
good.
Marvel comics.
Read that book. His
From
voice
the
is
very
so good.
first
Well,
meeting the
obviously
team
it's good
had
because it's
with Evan,
Pittsburgh.
they
Hell
felt
yeah.
a special magic and are really proud of the work they've done to craft an original story and bring
I
Black
mean,
Panther
honestly,
to
you're
life.
not wrong, yo.
Together, they threw themselves into the challenge of both respecting and celebrating existing Black Panther stories and bringing the culture of Wakanda to life.
Look at
Here's
that,
Evan
bro.
to tell you
Look
more
at
about himself.
that. How could you
Hi
look?
everybody, it's Evan Narcisse.
This
I'm
is
here, of
fucking
course, to talk
amazing.
about the War for Wakanda
And we haven't
expansion
even
from
seen
Marvel's
like
Avengers.
really like in the deep
When
dive
we were
into the
working
story or
on the War for
anything.
Wakanda story, the
But
narrative
holy
team and I
shit.
drew
It
inspiration
looks so
from
much
so many
more-
different story arcs in the comics.
I don't
dating
know.
back to
This
the Black
looks
Panther
like
storylines such as
it's been
Who is
taken
Black
up 10
Panther
notches.
by Reginald
10
Hudlin and John
notches,
Romita Jr.,
for sure.
and A Nation Under Her Feet by Ta-Nehisi Coates and Brian Stelfreeze. So these stories were, of course, so important to how we thought about our version of the Black Panther. When we were working on the narrative for War for Wakanda, it was essential for us to tell a Wakandan story, even though it takes place in the Avengers universe. And of course, Wakanda is its own sovereign African nation. It's also the most advanced
As far as this
civilization on
one
Earth.
particularly, I think it's Evan
Its
Narcisse
technological
that's
achievement
doing
is
his
fueled by
voiceover
vibranium,
currently.
a precious
But
material
on the
from
other
only
ones, I don't
meteor
know who
that
does it.
crashed on Earth centuries ago. The kingdom is ruled by King T'Challa. the
You
Black
best
Panther.
know I'm gonna be wearing
And
that king
in War
suit.
for Wakanda,
His
T'Challa
king attire, that's what I'm gonna
faces
be rocking for a
massive
while.
Invasion, unlike anything the country has ever faced before.
Okay.
T'Challa is a man who lives many roles. He's a king, he's a leader of an entire nation, and he's a brother. And this invasion will test him in all of those roles.
We've seen that,
It's
right?
gonna
Yeah,
be
we've seen
really
that one.
difficult for him
Unless
to
it's a
figure out
recolor
who
of
he
one
is and
we've
what
seen.
he needs to be for Wakanda to be safe.
Oh, that
This invasion is led by Ulysses Claw,
that.
a rogue scientist with a dark secret and a darker
Ooh,
grudge.
that actually looks like a familiar
Claws
location.
assembled an army of mercenaries, all of them equipped with deadly sonic technology and large.
I gotta
spider-like
say, they
nets that he
really-
unleashes into the Wakandan jungle.
The enemy types
Claws
there
being
look really
bankrolled by one of
interesting.
the world's most sinister
Especially in that
organizations,
trailer that we just
and
got.
he uses all that money and all those resources to plant sonic fracking towers all over Wakanda so he can extract vibranium from the soil.
When you say
This is a
when you say
devastating
explorable in
process
terms
that
of like a
corrupts the
free roam
vibranium,
game, it's not going to be
creates
exactly
clusters
like
of
that. It's
deadly
going to be more or
poisonous
less like
shards that show up all over the world.
Wasteland
This, of
from
course, is how the
Future
Avengers get
Imperfect,
involved
but
in the war for
probably on a
Wakanda.
little bit of a bigger
After
scale.
the 8-8 disaster, Wakanda closed its borders and cut off all communication with the outside world.
So
After the
it did
dangerous
the
corrupted
opposite of what the
vibranium
Black
starts to
Panther
appear
movie did.
all over the globe.
Essentially.
The Avengers traveled to Wakanda to offer their help to King
Wow,
T'Challa.
it looks so
Another important
good.
character
It
showing
looks
up
so
in the
good.
expansion is
Very
Okoye.
different for sure. Like
She's the
everything.
captain of the Dora Milaje, an elite fighting force that answers only to the king. She's also kind of the
Mm-hmm.
voice of truth for T'Challa, which means she tells the king stuff that everybody else is afraid
Ooh.
to even voice. Along with Okoye, we've got Zavavari. He's
Clawbeard
a
is
mystic
looking
who
on
has this really
point.
Tense,
Oh,
fraught
yeah.
relationship with the royal family. T'Challa's not the only member of the royal family showing up in this expansion. We also have his younger sister, Princess Shuri. She's the head of technological development.
Look, see, Black Widow's there.
She doesn't agree with T'Challa's approach to
Right?
dealing with
Other
Claw.
Avengers are there. I don't know if people
The
think
War for
they're
Wakanda
not there.
expansion
They're there.
Exposes the fragility of T'Challa and Shuri's relationship. It sets up a series of confrontations that will test their bond, as well as their partnership with the Avengers. Even if they all
Look,
find a
Thor,
way to come
see?
together, it may not be enough.
I guess
to
people
stop
want to
the
know where
growing
Kate
threat
and
to
Clint are,
Wakanda
though.
and its people.
They're there probably.
The narrative team and I, we
Look,
created
oh my
this
god,
new
it's so
original
fucking
Black
beautiful.
Panther
Now,
adventure,
this looks like the
drawing
mine. I don't know if
inspiration
this is
from
going to
so
lead up
many amazing
into
existing storylines from the comics
the
and other
little
iterations of the
tea that
character.
we've heard
We
of.
all know and love
from
these
a long,
characters so
long
much
time
and
ago.
want to share that love with all of you guys, and we're so excited about bringing this.
Oh, that's a new
adventure
suit.
to Marvel's Avengers. for
Oh, that
all
was a
of
new
you
suit
to
we just
enjoy.
saw. That was a new suit we just saw. Keep in mind, this is 2 hours long, so we're going to be here for a while.
Black
Oh,
Panther is known for his cat-like agility and lethal claws.
Crossbones
He's
fight?
an untouchable force that can pounce at any moment.
Go back to that. Go back to the
team has
crossbones
crafted
fight.
a
What was
full
that?
arsenal of custom moves to capture his fighting style and bring him to life. Out
Whoa.
of my sight is Black Panther's signature attack.
Oh, I've heard this
which can
voice
be
before.
charged with
She's
intrinsic
a normal
energy
on
to
this one.
perform
Like
the
she's always
kinetic
doing
slash,
these.
a spiraling uppercut.
I don't know who she is
From this
though.
move, Black Panther can branch in and out of the spinning strike-like combo. pounce from the ground or the air to grab enemies and unleash
Oh
a
my god,
flurry of
Rid
claw
is
strikes.
going to be asking
The
for this
intrinsic meter is
no
super
HUD
important
option
for
still.
Black
You
Panther.
see how they have
You're
no
gonna
HUD on
wanna
theirs,
prioritize
basically?
blocking and parrying to store kinetic energy, which can then be released in a
Interesting.
percussive blast.
You see how he gained
Black
health back there?
Panther's
He gained willpower
percussive
back from it
blast
too.
unleashes all your stored energy in a large
And
kinetic
each suit
burst
looks to be having
that knocks
its...
away nearby enemies and boosts Black Panther's melee damage for a short time. Perform a parry just before
Does
an
each
enemy
suit have
attacks
its own
next to turn their attack into a blast of
kinetic energy look?
that knocks them back and staggers nearby foes.
Black Panther is easily
Enemies
going to
who
be
have
a top
recently
tier
been
character,
parried
there's
are
no
easier
doubt.
to interrupt
Like, look
with
at
attacks.
this.
Black Panther can construct daggers made of energy and vibranium, which can be thrown at enemies near
They're
or
welcome,
far.
didn't tell him to walk.
His basic daggers will embed into targets, making them more vulnerable to
They need
melee
to
damage. They're a
release it for
great
remote.
way to
That's
weaken
what
an enemy
Patrol
for
is,
unleashing a
Keller.
barrage of melee attacks.
They just haven't released it yet.
The Komoyo bees
They're
can target
still
enemies
working
or
on it as
allies
far
and
as I
provide
know.
either detrimental or restorative abilities to their targets.
Okay.
The beads can be upgraded and provide additional support or offensive capabilities such as armor against attacks, destroying incoming projectiles, shooting enemy targets, or dealing damage over time.
Okay, so we know what
skills can be unlocked
what all
to
three of them do
supercharge your
now.
sprint, evade,
Oh, this is the new
signature,
UI
and
too there.
combo finisher
You can
attacks
kinda see
using
it.
your
Oh,
intrinsic
is that-
energy.
that was Crossbones,
There are
wasn't it?
so many ways to play Black Panther, but here are some powerful highlights.
I've lost a bet to King Greek,
The
so I have to
essential
make a
look
range
King's
build for
Mercy is a
Cap. I mean,
vibranium
for
spear
Black
that can
Panther.
pin
It's gonna be
multiple
interesting.
targets and deal out large amounts of damage. The spear can
They
be
copied
customized
Fort-
to explode on contact or create
They
multiple
sure did.
smaller
They sure
spears
did.
for
Fortnite's
rapid
gonna
fire.
sue.
Call upon the power of the Panther goddess Bast to summon a spectral
I was
panther
very
to charge
skeptical on
through
how that
more
was
foes
gonna work,
and
like, from what
empower
we've
Black
heard.
Panther with the energy from the ancestral plane,
I didn't know how
boosting
that was
defensive
gonna work, but it
capabilities.
actually looks pretty
Unleash
decent.
Supercharged attacks without expending any intrinsic energy. The ultimate can be customized to revive down heroes, weaken at nearby enemies, and even summon spectral warriors to fight alongside.
I know some people have a
Black
problem with still
Panther
fighting
himself is
Exos
a
and stuff, but I
fully
mean,
unique
like,
hero
it's
with
an
the same
invasion
amount
on
of skills and gear
Wakanda,
as the rest of the
like,
Avengers.
from
He'll have around 40
other
outfits
resources.
and a full suite of
Oh,
emotes, takedowns, and nameplates for the marketplace. Releasing alongside the War for Wakanda expansion is an extensive refresh to the menu pages for Marvel's Avengers.
Okay, show us.
Some of the
Talk
biggest
about it.
updates are related to the new unified character page. It contains everything
Okay, well, we saw this
associated
in the
with
dev
hero
stream the
in
other
one
week,
easy
but
to navigate space.
I want to see if they
Here
show
you can
anything
manage your gear,
different.
cosmetics, emotes, and takedowns, as well
Oh.
as view hero and challenge card progress, so you can get back to the action more quickly.
Okay.
This update includes commonly requested improvements for managing a hero's loadout, including more easily comparing items, locking your favorite gear for safety, and dismantling
finally,
multiple
he needed
items
that.
at once.
Thank
Direct
you.
access to your
Now,
locker
did they-
from anywhere adds
Okay,
an
they-
extra layer
okay.
of convenience.
What's
This only
the...
scratches the surface of UI improvements our team has crafted for you in this
Somebody's
update.
gonna look in that and see if there was any new emotes, because we haven't had any new emotes really in a while. Even though it's not the most important thing, I mean, still, I was kind of curious. Like,
As
there's
Evan
not any more
mentioned
emotes.
earlier, we have drawn a lot of
I love
inspiration
when they do
from the
this
Black
too.
Panther comics.
Oh,
while
there's a white
striving
gorilla
to
there.
make a unique and respectful rendition of Wakanda and its
We feel
cast
Marvel's
of
Avengers
characters.
is replicating the
War for
experience.
Wakanda
Fortnite
features
Battle.
a full new biome, the jungles of Wakanda,
$1.5 billion
showing both
lawsuit
the
incoming.
rich and amazing history of this ancient, unconquered African country, but also the futuristic, symbiotic technology of contemporary Wakanda. At the center is the Wakandan capital, Bernanzana, where our new
boy.
outpost is located. It features
The city
King
looks
T'Challa's throne
phenomenal,
room
even
from
though
where
we
he
can't
rules,
go
and the
to the
command
city,
center
like-
where all important decisions
But it
regarding
looks
the
great.
country's
Like, it's
security takes
more
place. Shuri's lab houses the
alive.
nerve
It's
center
more
for
alive than
Wakanda's
it has
Komoyo
been for
network.
other places in
The spiritual annex
the
is
other
located
regions, if
on
you
the
catch what
lower
I mean.
floor, where Zavavari aids
I can
the
imagine
royal family in the ways of mystical
seeing.
powers.
I can imagine seeing Kate do the
Wakanda
L.
mission
I mean, like,
design is
it's
built on the same
again.
foundation
I
as
just
Marvel's
don't know like
Avengers,
how deep
but
they
with new
ever
objectives
plan
and
to
an
go into
extra focus
emotes,
on
but
dangerous traversal,
there's definitely room
exploration,
for
and
stuff that they
puzzles.
could have done.
Almost all War for Wakanda content is multiplayer enabled, apart from the introduction
Almost
mission,
all,
which
okay.
is single player only.
Okay.
This is where Black Panther is introduced and celebrated as a new, unique hero.
Awesome. Hell yeah. What else you got for us, though? I want you to go back to that Crossbones boss fight. I want to know more about that.
War for Wakanda features a full A-list cast of actors, helmed by Christopher Judge as Black Panther. Christopher
Let's
is
go.
best known for playing Kratos
Give him some
in
praise,
the latest
y'all.
God
He-
of War game and from the
he
TV
did
show
it.
Stargate.
He did this.
Shuri is played by Erica Luttrell, known from Dishonored,
Everybody did it.
Westworld, and Apex Legends.
She would. Another
Okoye
new
is
suit,
played by
yeah.
Deborah Wilson from Star Wars
I
Jedi
expect
Fallen
Play
Order,
Avenger,
and
yeah,
Zavavari
Play
is
Avenger
played by
to
Dave Benoit,
drop a
Best
whole
known
bunch of
from the Walking Dead games,
tweets of what's
Steve Blum
happening
is
right
going
now.
all in as
So
the
I'll take a
villain
look at that on
Ulysses Claw.
Twitter after the whole stream is
To
done. We
get
can
the
kind of
Wakandan
recap and see
accent
what
just right,
all was
we worked
revealed,
closely
because
with Beth McGuire,
there's
the
definitely some stuff
dialect
I'm
coach
missing
from the
here.
Black Panther movie. Beth has had multiple coaching sessions with each of the key actors to ensure that the accents are properly delivered and has been an integral part of the voice sessions.
Well, I can definitely hear that.
As you may have already noticed, Wakanda
Oh,
will release
whoa,
with
whoa, whoa,
several
whoa,
new
whoa, whoa,
enemies.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
The main villain is Black Panther's
Is that in the
nemesis
story
from the
though,
comics,
or is it going to be
Ulysses Claw,
OLT
also known
content?
simply
That's what I
as Claw.
wonder.
And we're bringing a
Like
new
that right there?
sonic rendition of him to life based
Is
on
that
his iconic Marvel
story
look.
or
Claw's story is
or
linked to
OLT?
Wakanda, and we're excited to reveal our all-new version of his origins.
I can
in this
voice act the
expansion.
Wakanda character.
Claw
Let
has
me.
brought with him a team of
Hey,
mercenaries.
go hit
They
up,
have a
get a
variety of
agent, have them,
vibranium and sonic
you know,
powered weapons
put you
and
out
should
there.
pose a real challenge
Okay,
for
yeah,
Black
the enemies
Panther
look
and the
very.
Avengers. We're also
I like that the
introducing
enemies
a
look
new
very
menace,
different too.
The spider-like crawlers. They come in different
I told
variants,
somebody that there
including
was only
small
going to be
sized
like
scout
one
crawlers
spider, but it
and
turns out they got
large
not
hunter
one but
crawlers.
two.
We're excited to
Two
announce
spiders.
the legendary comic villain Crossbones.
I was
as
like,
Claw's
there's no
head
way.
lieutenant.
Like the spiders look too
And
small.
to debut
Oh wait, whoa,
Wakanda
whoa, whoa, whoa!
with two new villains
Look,
in one expansion. Crossbones, or Brock Rumlow, is a sociopathic super mercenary who works for the highest bidder.
I
and
love that
he's
design
ready
so
to lead the
fucking much.
invasion of Wakanda.
That looks.
Crossbones is a formidable foe
Oh my
and
God.
has an impressive arsenal at
Imagine
his
not
disposal,
liking that design,
including
though.
an impenetrable shield that makes him immune to many of Black Panther's attacks.
Okay.
Discover Crossbones' origins
Just
and
Black
find
Panther,
out
though?
how the Avengers created their own enemy.
Oh wait.
Thank you
How the
for
Avengers
joining us
created their
for
own
our
enemy?
War for
Huh? What the
Wakanda War
fuck?
Table. Log in tomorrow to play Black Panther and defend Wakanda alongside the Avengers.
Oh, see,
Here's one last look at how massive Marvel's Avengers has
it's
become
actually a
and why
thing.
now
It's a
is
thing.
the right time to assemble.
It's confirmed at that point. It's confirmed at that point. That's a dual villain sector. You just saw it for yourself. That's a dual villain sector. That was him, Claw, and Crossbones in the same villain sector. You see it for yourself. Nobody's crazy. The leaks are true. I fucking told you. High Ruler told you. It's true. We can rewind that back if we want to. And you can see for yourself. That was Claw and Crossbones in the same fucking place. $25 hours of single player content. Okay, that's inclusive of the DLCs and stuff though. Keep that in mind. Don't, keep that in mind. Need to rewind it when it's there. Trust me. I just saw it. I saw him, Crossbones, and Claw in the same field together. They literally were coming both at him.
I'm standing in Wakanda.
See, even Ms. Marvel's there. Okay, they haven't shown Clint or Kate in Wakanda, but like I'm sure that they're there. If Ms. Marvel's there, why wouldn't they be there? Okay. I remember every time I see Spider in a game, I was so scared. Ghost Rider Crossbones. I'm interested in that. I don't know what exactly sets him off. Wait, that's not it, is it? That's not it. It's 2 hours. The fuck? No, it's 2 hours. Somebody link me the other one. IGN is not in it for the win. Somebody put the other one up. Well, of course not. He's not there. What does Spider-Man want to be in Wakanda for? Somebody link me the other one. What is this? BS. IGN, you're supposed to be online for 2 hours. Can somebody link me the other one? The actual one? Because that's... Hold on. Let me see what he's watching. Which one is he on? Okay. He's behind a little bit.
I still can't believe it.
Let me see which one is he on, though? What's the link to the main
That's fucking crazy.
event?
Man.
Are you not
That's
entertained? What's
crazy.
up, everybody? Welcome to what is officially now
Holy
the War for Wakanda
fuck.
party. I'm Greg. That's Sandra.
Deadpool, can you just make a surprise
Yeah,
guest
I don't know
appearance?
if you guys
Nah,
can
not in
see
this
it.
game, never.
I don't know if you guys can see it, man. Whew.
Do I just watch him? Should I just watch High Ruler?
Holy moly, man.
So they just confirmed a lot of stuff, though.
What do you you guys think, man? What do you guys think? Break it down for me, man. Break it down.
They confirmed some things today. But I wonder what other surprise they really have.
What do you, dude?
Hold on.
That was good, right?
I gotta look for it. War for Wakanda.
That was good.
Launch party. Oh, that's right. He's with
Man,
Stardust, so it's gonna be
so
a
sick.
decent amount of talking.
Are you excited now? What are you
Launch
thinking?
party.
Did you eat like?
Oh, they're live themselves. What the fuck?
We're gonna walk in, they're gonna walk
Okay.
out. Discord windows are gonna pop up, and we're gonna have to reframe and do all that stuff because we're all
I can't really hear the video that he's watching. Oh, it's because it's a stream within a stream, so you should be able to hear this one better.
Is you said a lot of nice things about me, correct?
Yes, of course.
So they're gonna be playing War for Wakanda, the first 2 story missions. So I think we're gonna get to see some of the stuff we just saw in the trailer. If you do not want to watch the story spoilers, I recommend you don't watch right now. But oh, never mind. Wait.
Where Flitz said, "What time does it go live?" This is the question I've seen on the subreddit. I've seen on Twitter. I've
Oh,
seen
some
on
people in the
YouTube.
chat
I've
had a
seen
question
on
about this
Twitch.
too.
When can you play the War for Wakanda expansion?
Let me get some
for
more.
free? Answer, ladies and gentlemen. Drum roll, please. Is tomorrow, of course, as you already know, the 17th. But 8 a.m. Pacific, give or take. You know
8 a.m.
Are some update here, some update
8
there.
a.m.
People think
8 a.m.
Pacific, give or take.
Wow, I gotta be up early that day. Holy crap.
Sandra, we're jumping in. We're jumping right into Wakanda. Are you excited?
8 a.m.
Ready to jump.
Are you guys ready for that?
So
8
Big
a.m.
deal for me, obviously, somebody who plays Avengers all the time, being able to spin the map and then go right to Africa. There it is, Wakanda. A brand new region, a brand new place to explore, and a brand new story. We will be playing this. We'll be having fun. We're gonna listen to the story, though, right?
Now I do expect this. Listen, I do expect this. While they play and they get to this, I want to say second mission, maybe.
Oh, and also they told me
I feel, you know, like as you start to play the game, missions start populating in other places, right?
So it'll look better and run better. Probably
I feel
tomorrow.
like they might end up having some other stuff pop up on their war table, so we might have to look out for that. Okay.
Logo? Oh, this might just be my first time.
Humor and also
If you do not,
your father gave me that much respect.
if you do not want to hear this, dip right now. I'm telling you that right now. Do not watch this. It's story spoilers. Don't watch it. Like, dip right now. So that's your
It
warning.
was not an advanced nation then. It was a group avoiding tribes.
I recommend you dip. Like, I highly do.
Containing the metal we now call
You can't look away. I mean, hey, you're gonna be playing it tomorrow.
with each
All right, Neo.
advanced, we will
I'll catch you on Twitter or something in a little bit.
with our past and our
But for anybody sticking around,
You
yep,
challenged
we're gonna
your uncle
keep
to
watching,
become the Black
pushing on.
Panther, But you were born to be king.
Oh, this is gonna be
Not
spoilery.
all can
Yeah,
Oh.
the first 2 missions of the game. It's
Not
gonna be
all
very
see
spoilery.
past
Oh wait a
If
minute.
you don't want to know anything, you can wait till tomorrow. 8 a.m.
made a difficult choice, closing Wakanda's borders.
What suit is he in right now?
Oh, there's Jeff.
I do not begrudge you it, but this new threat is different. You have no idea how far these people will go to take what they desire.
Greg, I'm scared.
A corruption
we got this.
has followed in the wake of Ulysses'
power of the
claw.
Black
That's also part of an event too. Those little things you're gonna have to take them out in certain threat sectors, I believe. So we'll learn more about that sometime this week,
Now stands in its way.
maybe today.
You.
Boom. Title screen. That's what I'm talking about.
Wow.
Here we go. We're heading right into. I won't be able to play until Friday, so I might as well watch.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
Dave Fennoy.
You might not want to if you don't have to. You know, like, I would recommend that you save the experience for yourself. But it's your choice. LAN cables connected.
We clear? Clear. Let me seek the next charge.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Show me what's next. Show me some hype. Now at this point, I mean, it looks like they're already, you know, the assault on Wakanda is already picking up. Because how are they already here, right? Imagine I'm watching with the entire video on mute this whole time. I mean, I wouldn't blame you, you know. There's spoilers in here. I'm telling you. There's spoilers in here. Bro, are you getting scared by a panther? You're weak. It's the king. He arrives.
Good introduction to a character.
Damn, look at him. He got his ass manhandled. Panther handled.
I had enough of these invaders in my life.
I dig the suit. I really do. If they would have went with what we saw with the concept art, I don't know if I still would have, if I would have liked it all that much. But I love the improvements.
Again, we're gonna talk over sections. You can play it tomorrow for free and listen to it all you want. But like for me, right, as somebody who's played so much Cap, I'm a Cap main.
Oh, you're a Cap main, Greg. Okay.
Okay, where am I? There.
Okay, all right. For the record, I play in a group of dedicated Avengers. One of them is Andrew Goldfarb. He is always Kamala Khan. All right, so
Okay,
don't worry. He's always wearing the frog hat, the Thor frog. You know what I mean?
So Andrew's the best in the group is what I'm getting.
Oh.
I assure you he will.
Can't be
clip that out
disrespecting
loud.
Kamala Khan these days, you know?
For me, one
You
of the things that
disrespect
I love
Kamala
about
Khan, you
Avengers
disrespect
that
Sandra
I've
Saad.
press previews,
Like,
right, is just
no
the
exceptions.
look
Can't be
of,
talking like that.
T'Challa, right? Just the fact of he's built. Look at that back. That, you know what I mean? Like he doesn't look like every other Avenger. I appreciate that they've gone through that.
Yeah, that boy is buff.
You see some more of his movement.
Aim hires
Also,
what?
obviously, I saw,
What does that say?
Simon Hardy, his
Aim
preview,
hires
Paul
what?
Massey, from Forbes, Simon from IGN, talking about how great the jungles looked, and obviously with Crystal Dynamics' pedigree of the one being
Listen.
Tomb Raider, it makes sense that they would nail that, but they for sure do.
I was just gonna say, wow, I want to go camping.
He's so agile. Like,
And another
he is
fun one, I don't know how
what
much,
Black Panther is.
I know you caught up on it, Sandra.
Like-
For people watching, the idea that they didn't reuse assets for this. Like, there's new chests, there's new things to break open for resources. I appreciate that they went out of their way to make Wakanda feel different, because obviously, you know, it's its own country.
Boy, if you don't get your ass off me, why you acting scared, boy? Oh. So do the enemies have accessibility to the new status types? Because,
It's not a robot.
you know,
Yeah, exactly. Right.
they have the gear. Oh, okay, here we go.
Certain enemies can become overcharged. When this happens, they are more resistant to damage and are able to perform special attacks that are only available while in overcharged state.
Interesting.
Combat overcharged enemies with sonic gear and sonic infused attacks.
But do you... So, does he start off with sonic gear? And, hold on. Go into the gear. I won't spoil myself. I'll be back in 2 hours. Okay.
They're out there. Get back.
No worries, no worries. But I'm going to sit here and watch this whole thing.
Crystal, you guys are.
I'm more interested in knowing what the interview stuff, like the interview portion, is going to be about.
Spear that works so much like Thor's. You'll see me obviously use it.
Oh, nice to get all 3 heroics right off the bat.
Enemies to the wall. You can multiple
Corrupted vibranium. Interesting. Is that a negative status effect towards you? Okay. So at its core, it looks like it's just filling the stun meter.
What did you get him?
Nothing.
Is that his dodge?
This is your chance.
His evade?
I thought about him.
It looks like his, yeah, it's his evade.
That's good enough, I guess.
You're welcome, Trent.
So I think Greg is the one playing at
What's
this
that like
point.
for you? The fact that, like, you know, when
Claw
obviously
Company
we've seen so
Marksman. Okay.
influential for pop culture now, for movies and everything else. But like, that's brought Marvel up to such a level, and obviously for you to be part of that universe, to be Ms. Marvel, right? Granted from the video game thing, but in the multiverse it doesn't matter, and to be so many people's first introduction to Ms. Marvel, what was that like after, you know, launching the game?
So cool. I get hit up about it a lot, and it's really touching to see people be like, oh my god, now I'm buying all the Miss Marvel comics. And, yeah, it's very cool. And of course, to know that like I'm somewhat related in some way to, you know, Chris Hemsworth and
Of course,
also,
Sandra.
you know, Travis Willingham. I love Thor all around. So.
Listen, it's all right to like Chris Hemsworth. It's all right to like Thor. Travis Willingham is a bridge.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about
All right,
that.
we don't have to like Travis. Travis isn't here. We, it's nice that Laura continues to pity him and hang out with him.
We going deep.
Okay, we got a
Oh, yeah.
Bruiser.
For anybody that I'm that close
Marksman.
with, it's not gonna go well for them on stream.
So Bruisers and Marksman. Okay.
So now, Chad, I see you popping off and liking it. Obviously, keep me posted on what you want to see. Again, like.
Well, if I could go in the chat, I think he's reading a Twitch chat.
You know what? Actually, what am I saying? Let's just jump.
Yes, thank
Here's
you,
one of the
thank
things-
you, thank
One
you.
of the other things I saw in the Twitch chat going through was you hate Mac, and you hate Mac said not a single Panther skin has been a miss so far. To which I say, are you kidding me with the Panther skins? You know what I mean? Like
Also
they have.
in the chat, excuse me, Greg. Also in the chat, I see someone said, "I love you, Sandra," and I love you too.
See, Sandra's so nice, bro. Like Sandra's so
I'm
nice.
stoked to have the
Okay, we got
Panther
recolors,
skins.
but like.
These
Okay,
are
we got
obviously
helmetless skins or outfits, we should say, because
These are the
skins
ones that are
imply
also
something
challenge
different.
cards.
But
This isn't even talking about what will come to the marketplace eventually.
oh, these are all challenge
skins
card.
and see- I mean, like, come on.
Oh,
And that's what I love so much.
okay.
about
But we
challenge
still
cards
don't know what
and
like
Sandra
level
is that
50
they're such a
reward would be
great-
for him. So
If
we
you
don't know
like
what
the
that
character, and let me tell you,
system is
since playing
going
just
to
2
be.
missions of Black Panther, I'm definitely going to be going for
Interesting.
150 on this one. I'm going to be grinding this card. I'm going to be wanting every one of these for sure.
Interesting. Okay.
I know. Right?
So no word of
Yeah,
cosmetic
we were talking
rework
about before, right? If you haven't
still,
checked out any of the
which
stuff,
means we don't
just
know what's supposed to
obviously
happen
we've
with
redone
the
entire,
level
character
50
sheet.
reward,
So
because
right
usually
now,
that
if you
implies
have
we get
fast
a
forward, you can get into
recolor
the
usually
see what's going on there.
of a
You
suit
got
we
your-
have.
it's all here in one
So
thing, including the
maybe it's
challenge
just in the challenge card that they.
card. Look at him. I thought for sure I was going to be able to show this challenge card, get a bunch of, upvotes on the subreddit. They're locking.
Yeah, you can't be showing stuff, Greg. You can't be
But
leaking,
anyways, yeah,
bro.
we'll
Like,
see.
what are
We'll
you
do more
doing?
seasons. Oh, as we play through, you see more.
Okay, well,
'Cause remember,
not.
we're playing this first
Okay.
mission, then
I'm
we're gonna talk to the
conflicted
dude
because
who wrote the game, then
we
we're
haven't
gonna
heard
talk to
any
the
news
game
at
developer,
all
we're
on
gonna
the
talk to
cosmetic
the
rework,
animation
and I
designers, developers, we're gonna talk to
remember. Okay,
Look at this outfit.
if
It's
you
so sleek.
a lot of
I
people
like
should
this
know who
one.
Slight Stardust is at this point, but like usually he's on the weekly recaps with the Assemble podcast. He made a point talking about how like if they have information and they're sitting on it, a lot of people are going to be very disappointed when they do talk about it, because it's a matter of why hold out when you could inform us now on what's the status of it. You know what I mean? Like, don't hold out information and just until it's ready. You know what I mean? Like, you could tell us, like, give us updates, because at this point we just haven't heard anything, and it's more like a concern that no progress is made on it. So, it's just one of those things that's kind of a touchy subject. At this point, like, we know the gear rework is something that's ongoing and won't be a definitive end. That's okay. They give us updates here and there. The cosmetic rework has just been dead silent for a while.
Go right to the well for that and then not have it give me another.
I like that his takedowns also have a visual flourish for the kinetic energy.
Leave this place. You get out.
You can see him pinned over here with the spear.
For level 1 Black Panther, you're doing pretty well. You're doing pretty well, Greg.
That is a VO.
Interesting to know that he hasn't gained a level yet, though.
You can't keep this up.
What was it like for you to record all that just in the wild, VO? Like, I think when we talk about VO, you usually think about like all the scenes we see of you and Troy and everybody in ping pong ball suits getting out there doing the thing. What's it like for when they're just like, all right, cool, and now you've been punched. All right, now you jumped off something. It's a little bit high. It's not that high.
Yeah,
So
I want to hear about this.
different, right? Than being on the mocap stage, because you're just in the booth by yourself with the director on the other side, like behind the glass, and you've just got hundreds of these lines, and you're like, oh, what's the motivation for this?
What exactly is going on? Like, a robot just shot you. Oh.
Yeah. Am I in the jungle? Where am I?
Yeah, that's actually pretty interesting to think about, too. Oh, he died. He wiped.
That's me.
Come on, Greg. You got to do better, bro. He's getting very slow XP. 400 XP. Very slow.
And I'm getting ahead of the game.
Interesting, though. I mean, from that XP rework, I mean, from Kate, they told us that it was just we were getting way too much XP than we were supposed to. So it makes sense, I guess. Oh my gosh, I love when she does that. You can never have Sandra Sod on here without doing like that specific line. She has to say two things. She has to say "I'm biggin'," and she has to say her iconic
I
speech.
can't give you guys or violate my non-disclosure agreement.
Oh, Sandra, it's okay.
Hi, Hi, Andy. Hi.
Oh shit, Andy's in the chat.
Yes. Oh, you love my voice. I love your voice too. Probably if I would know what your voice sounds like. But thank you.
Dudes.
Oh,
Ooh.
I adore you too.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm trying to focus
nice.
on his
Don't
gameplay,
make
but at the
me
same
look
time, like, their
Well, I have to
company
imagine, like, you know,
is
especially
really
for
nice.
You make the joke about non-disclosure, but for all the projects you're working on, let alone Marvel's Avengers, for whenever you recorded, you know, your Wakanda stuff. I guess you could tell me now. When did you record your Wakanda stuff?
Yeah. How long ago was that?
A while ago, I started.
A while ago.
I'd say maybe like a year, like.
What? Whoa.
Yeah. Like
A-
from home, I did.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
did, like,
Well, I mean, yeah. Cool. Okay, everybody.
and
A
then
year
probably
ago
several
from
months
home.
ago, I did another, but in the studio.
Interesting.
Yeah. When things got to start getting back to normal a little bit, I can only imagine. I can't wait to talk to everybody from Crystal on the stream about like what. It was
I'm
like
interested in that too. Let's have
Well, it started the game not
a
pandemic,
pretty
and
big
it's
talk
just
about that.
transitioned to
That's
being a pandemic.
actually
Right,
pretty
well,
big.
Wakanda the pandemic.
She said a
Okay,
year ago.
imagine you are T'Challa, but you're not in your closet.
Really feel empowered by this, but I'm sorry it doesn't feel that way. You actually.
She said a year
There
ago.
we go.
And I mean,
I love
having
that.
some other information about the time it can take for heroes and stuff to come. I mean, again, it's a whole expansion, different environment, all that stuff, different modes.
It's very much in the wheelhouse of the Simpsons. Stop. He's already dead.
How far away, like, she did all that though? That's interesting to think about.
I'm gonna do obviously
Because now puts
if you're new to
into
Avengers,
perspective
you're just doing it for the first time. It becomes
about
a
how other
weird game when you go through, you
people
get the new thing, you equip it.
for
But early
future
on, let's just
expansions
get our
and
power level
such
up. All right, I'm just gonna use the L2, hold L2,
have
equip
done
the best,
stuff.
and let's go. We'll jump
like
into
Spider-Man, for example.
feel like
They
obviously
would have
I'm
had to have his lines recorded a while ago, right? Because we knew that like a long time ago, Black Panther's lines were in the game when Miller was leaking
That's
stuff.
where I strive, especially early on. Because again, if you're new, you're gonna get it all the skill points as you play through to level 50 to unlock all of this. You don't have to worry about it.
Somebody said stop. He's already dead.
He told you.
Yeah.
I know how the internet works. Stop hating me.
Sorry, just getting some water.
Wakanda forever. Yes, Wakanda forever. Sandra is a goat. I prefer lambs, but no thank you.
I hope she understood the reference.
Greg, I just got an animal. I just got a pet.
What'd you get?
I got a frog.
Oh.
You got a frog.
Okay, wasn't
Interesting.
expecting that. That's interesting.
How often do you
what
hear
led you
people
to
say
the
they got a frog?
A friend of mine was like, "Do you want my frog?" I was like, "Sure," and I took him.
Okay, that'll do it. That'll definitely do it. Yeah.
Does Greg Miller have Greg Miller has one of the Avengers jackets that I so desperately want. Oh my god. He so desperately has the Avengers jacket that I've been asking for. I would pay money for that Avengers jacket. You have no idea.
I love these like sounds going in and out of these headphones. Makes me feel like I'm
Oh sure. 3D surround sound.
That's another good point too. I wonder how the Pulse 3D headset is going to feel here in Wakanda.
It's a tree frog. He went through several names, but now his name is Frog.
Okay, I appreciate that. Was that was the name Frog when you got him, or is that just like you're like, all right, you know, I'm like just having it. I'm trying to save your life here, bro. You're just Frog.
Yeah, I didn't want to give him my identity crisis. The previous owner did not name him, so.
The previous owner did not name their frog. Wow,
How did
that's
she fall into this frog life?
interesting.
Yeah, he just had like a million animals, so.
Okay.
So these little things here,
Look at you, good Samaritan.
there was an image of these in a blog about an
Have
event.
you thought about naming it Frog?
So I'm not sure if we're just gonna have to do this, where we just take them down before they explode or something in threat sectors or what. But I guess this is something that we're gonna have to do with destroying corrupted vibranium clusters.
Yay, everybody! We did our good deed of Avengers today.
I wonder how that's gonna work though. I mean, it is an event though. It's for gear. And that I believe starts on Thursday this time. So Thursday at normal reset. The visual graphics on this look remarkable, and he's playing on PS5 too.
I appreciate how.
Keep that in mind. He is playing on PS5 here.
For writers, but then when we get to the voice cast too,
I'm pretty
how
sure.
fleshed out and alive the universe is already for Wakanda, where it's like, you know, obviously there's a history, there's a past, there's a lineage going on here with what.
Okay, what are you gonna show us? Oh.
His relationship with Okoye or anything like that.
Oh, social is not triangle.
I'll tell you what. After using the old menu for so long, it's very bizarre getting used to the new one.
Yeah, I can imagine that's gonna be a little
Yeah, it is Chris Judge.
strange
Isn't
with
that
this.
crazy?
Yeah.
Like we came out of the preview, Sandra, and I was on Kind of Funny Games Daily talking about it, and I like to think I have a good ear for voices in the industry because I know so many people, and like, you know, whenever, you know, we're talking about Dave Fenoy being in the game. Whenever Dave's in a game, I know immediately. And Dave's a great actor, but I just know the tenor and where he is. But if you would have let me play this and not told me ahead of time it was Chris Judge, I would have had no idea. Because obviously you're expecting that boy, you know what I mean? That like we're down there, we're low. And he comes up so high in the accent. I can't wait to find out how him and Deborah got to the accent.
Oh, you just died. Oh my god.
I'm a big Deborah Wilson fan.
Who is
You know, I didn't know who Deborah Wilson was at first when I played Jedi Fallen Order. I think it's Seer or Siri.
I remember when she started popping up in voice acting stuff.
And I was like, oh, that's her. Like, it was a genuine surprise. She did really good in that one, though.
You play the Star Wars game, and then she pops up, and you're like, oh my gosh, you're fantastic.
Oh, they're talking about it right now.
Let alone how she's doing here. And we will see more of Okoye soon.
Yeah, man, you gotta throw the daggers, man.
We weren't on mic, but I was like,
He's very quick with the daggers, though. That's good to know. That's not a long charge of time as opposed to some other characters with their weapons.
Like stepping into a memory.
Someone says, Greg, you remind me of Ryan Reynolds.
Interesting.
I'm sure a lot of other people are saying really horrible things about that comment, but I'll take it. Thank you very much.
No.
Interesting remark.
So this is
Interesting
another,
remark.
Not change, I guess, but one of the things I think that makes War for Wakanda so special and what they're doing here, right, is that as we come in here again, there's all this history to it. You know, he's talking about coming through here with his uncle.
I know Twitter is blowing up right now. I got 97 fucking notifications like in the span of 2 seconds.
I really appreciate it. After so many months, right, of just running through it.
Like, this is...
Past reaping the souls of Wakanda's invaders. She protects us always.
Bobo Lesto says PS4 or PS5. We are playing on a PS5 dev kit. That does mean, of course, that
PS5 dev kit. Interesting. Okay.
This is from a couple weeks ago, so if anything goes
Couple of weeks ago. Keep that in mind, everybody. Keep that in mind. A couple of weeks ago, there could be issues that would possibly be resolved before you get to play tomorrow. So if you see anything, just keep that in mind. And also, the fact that he's playing on PS5 is also questionable as to how the game will look on old gen, meaning like Xbox 4, you know, Xbox, I mean, for my time, Xbox 4 is like Xbox One, PS4, you know what I mean?
Of course, everyone remembers me from Lego Avengers. I was Aldrich Killian in that video game. I was Aldrich Killian that. So, Crystal, if you want to put in Aldrich Killian as a villain sector, I'm just saying I will gladly keep going.
Aldrich Killian, oh my god.
Beyond that,
Aldrich Killian.
Are
you serious?
I mean, have we announced a Spider-Man voice actor yet? You know what I mean? Like, come on, I take photos of Spider-Man all the time. I hear he's coming.
You gonna bring him out like that?
Come on, or just put shirtless Spider-Man in this game.
You know, it's gonna be. The stream could be very weird in terms of.
No, that's not how it is. No, we're gonna use the pads here. So we gotta match up our icons, right? So hold on, we got this weird double triangle.
I love these two colors to get this like gold and the greenish.
At least the puzzle, okay. The puzzle is very, very different from what we've been seeing in the current game. So it's definitely going to be. Well, if you're watching this right now, you're gonna be able to speed past this pretty easily. So keep that in mind. However. If you are playing it for the first time without viewing this tomorrow, then you might have some difficulty.
Tim Geddes from Kind of Funny did voice Throg. That is correct. And which one was that? Lego Marvel Superheroes 2? That's when I was Howard the Duck, and Kevin Coelho was, of course, the Tinkerer. Some say
I want to voice a character in Lego Marvel games. The fuck? Call me.
Perfect.
Oh, he looks like he's done this a million times already. He hasn't fucked up once.
I love this little piano.
I like the snap.
It's almost like an entire, okay, it's almost like a different game. Like,
Who else would you want to be? Like,
you could say
first
it's
off,
like a Black
when you got
Panther
the role of
game.
Kamala,
It's
did you
its own
understand what
thing.
a
Like,
deal
that's
was
the
at first?
crazy part.
No idea.
Yeah.
Till I showed up. I was like, wait, no, really.
I'm in.
He might be in this puzzle for a while.
Yeah, how
I
does
don't
that
know.
work? So, actually, I'm always torn of if I should keep doing all the puzzles because I don't want to ruin the game for everybody. But you are watching the stream where we play the game. I'm gonna do it anyway.
I mean, you have to do the puzzle though.
So when you
Don't you?
auditioned to be Ms. Marvel, like, did you know you were auditioning to be Ms. Marvel? Did you know Ms. Marvel was kind of like the
I don't know. It's
entire
just a chest.
story,
No.
like the linchpin
Or
of the whole
what?
thing?
I didn't know I was auditioning for a Marvel thing at all.
Oh, this is the story. Yeah, I think she told the story on a dev stream
they
too.
don't tell you, it's secret, as
Sure.
you can imagine. And then I didn't know what it was until literally like I showed up. They're like, "You're gonna be playing this Marvel," and then I did notice like there's like this list, and there's like a certain order, right? Of like, okay, well the lead's at number 1, and then da 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 da. And I was like, why am I not? They must have like ordered it wrong.
Yeah.
And then I knew the makeup artist really well, and she came up to me, she's like, Sandra, you're number 1 on the call sheet. You know what that means? And I was like, no, girl, they messed up. That's what that meant.
You're like, I wish that was the case, but that's impossible. Why would that happen?
Yeah.
Strange to walk this as the Black Panther. My uncle
Ooh, okay. That looks like it has. Damn.
Wait, Kevin, can people hear you? Okay.
I like your
why is
commentary.
before we went live on this Kind of Funny stream, Kevin's like, they're not gonna be able to hear me, and then now Kevin's like laughing at me and making fun of me. I'm like, wait, no, he's just taunting me. Okay. I appreciate that.
So far, so good. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. The environment looks really, really good. Character, awesome. Flavorful. I really want to see
Ain't no thing.
more of that crossbones stuff, though. They showed two different things with
So
crossbones.
You come in here, you're thinking, oh, it's some kind of chest or whatever. It's not. It's a train. This is how you travel around Wakanda.
So he has played this a
Pointed
bit.
out 'cause I
He has
didn't
played this
understand it when it
before.
first happened. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, he played this before.
Grim.
Ulysses Cross.
Grim.
If he played this before, he should have let Sandra play.
Trying. But it's not hard. Black Panther makes it easy.
No, it comes out tomorrow at around 8
Just
a.m.
joining us this season,
PST.
War for Wakanda launch party tomorrow. War for
They
Wakanda
talked about that.
comes for free
Oh, oh.
to Marvel's Avengers. 8 a.m. we found out.
He just said it
So
again.
today we're playing the first 2 missions. We're talking in a harm room. We're talking to the developers. We're talking to the cast. We're talking to the writers.
This is just a 2-hour launch party to kind of kick it off for the week. Tomorrow is when it officially releases, and we also have a reset to the marketplace, which will feature a first Avenger 2012 Captain America suit.
Some kind of sharp
If you don't want to watch the story, though, I don't recommend continuing to watch the stream because this is essentially story spoilers for you. And they will be playing the next mission, the next story mission after this one as well. But yeah, it's give or take on the time frame. It depends on certain platforms too. It's very different sometimes. It can be 10-15 minutes apart, you know. It just depends. Robot spiders. These are the small ones, I think. Yeah. These are the small ones.
People can't hear you. They're saying they like you a lot in the chat.
The small ones, I mean, don't look like they're going to be that much of an issue. It's the bigger ones that I'm kind of curious about.
Wrong.
That's not good. What happened?
The chat, I think I clicked slow-mo.
Oh, that's activated by the mods in the chat. Probably because so many people are watching. They want to make sure it just doesn't go so much that it's nonsense. If somebody's already modded Sandra in Twitch chat, that's a bad move. Take that away. She doesn't understand the power.
Dang, like that,
She
Greg?
can't take this. She doesn't know what she's doing.
I'll leave Sandra as a mod. What the hell?
I
Oh,
love his voice so much.
interesting. Okay, well, I guess when they come in swarms and they start doing shit like that, yeah, it might be a problem. It might actually be a problem.
We talked to Hannah and Evan, the writers of
I need to see more of it though. Looks like you can. If you come in here with fucking Iron Man or some shit, you're gonna devastate these things.
Abu. I love Abu.
I don't know about wasting that on there, but yeah, you see when they start doing that shit with the, I assume, corrupted vibranium, they're getting more annoying. But let me see. What about the indicators? They curl up like literal spiders too. That's kind of gross, kind of weird. They're not real spiders. They're robots. They should be breaking. Are they crawling up like little spiders?
This way. Claw and his minions must be stopped.
I mean, I'm moving, Kev. We'll get through it. Don't worry.
If this vibranium
Question
had
for
been
me.
refined thousands of
Hit.
years
What is
ago, it would have mutated
What
everyone
hero
we
would I like
asked.
to meet next as Kamala? And honestly, it is T'Challa. He's just so cool, and this voice, I can't wait to hear it come together. Because, like, as you can imagine, when you're doing it by yourself, you can only imagine what the other actor sounds like, especially if you don't know who the actor is. So now I know what he sounds like, and I'm so excited to see it kind of come together.
That's actually very like
Sandra, we're running late.
crazy to
So I'm here
hear.
for talking to you, having too much fun. So I'm gonna go through this, but what I want to know is a really cool thing when you you look at these things and you kind of get the history of what's going on. But I'm gonna cheat the puzzle and just go. So Sandra, you remember 3 snowflakes, pizza, square with some stuff on it, a bug.
Bug.
I already forgot the first two.
I will start
Nope.
again.
Square with some stuff. Oh, do I have to do an order? Oh God, I forgot I have to do an order.
Oh, I forgot everything already.
If you forgot you have to do them in order, Greg, bro. He's not a dedicated gamer.
Pizza. Start there.
I thought you already did this, Greg. Didn't you already play this whole game already? Yeah, they're still in the first mission, so it's gonna be a
Square
while.
with wings. That's how
And I
I'm gonna say it.
don't think this is the end of the mission.
The bug thing.
And the bug thing. Square with wings and bug thing.
Looks like square with wings. Alright, then the bug thing.
We have like 1,000 people in the chat. Y'all help him out.
All right, there we go.
Oh, Sandra, that's a big Twitch no-no. You'd like to think you could look at the chat and they'd help you. No, no, no. I'm looking at you, chat, aren't I? I'm looking at you, aren't I, chat? I know how you are. I know what you do. I know what you would do there. You tell us all the wrong stuff.
Well, you know, unless you put backseat gaming in your title, then it's not viable.
There you go, Wakanda. Your first real look at it.
I am through.
And here we are
Purposes, yeah, we're coming up pretty quick here.
in full glory. Oh, there's the Avengers Quinjet.
Wakandan airspace.
Guinea and chat.
Okay, so Shuri's the one who let the Avengers in.
Twitch is a brave new world.
I must take
They show you guys. You show up here. You want to hang out. You love us, and then as soon as you can, though, you will screw with us.
Yeah, someone was like, Greg, you can trust me. I'm like, yeah,
Right.
me, Greg.
Been burned before.
Interesting.
Okoye, have the Dora Milaje and the Avengers keep close men busy. Draw their attention away from the cliffside.
There won't be a problem.
I'm wondering. I'll wait. I'm kind of curious about something. Oh yeah, he has to kind of rush, so he just kind of.
Fight all these guys for the XP, but like I said, we're making up time here, folks. There's too much going on in this stream.
I love it.
Evan and Hannah are waiting right now in the wings. They don't want to see me go through and fight all these.
I want to see the environment a little bit more. Slow down. Well, I guess we've seen this part already in a little scene. We're about to find out what happens next, though.
That little flip in the air. Love
So
it.
good, right?
Okay.
Yarjuns, is this still the first mission? This is still the first mission. Meaty missions in War for Wakanda.
It's Crossbones. It's Crossbones. Here we go. So Crossbones is the first boss you fight in a mini boss, I've heard.
Panther boy, excuse me? Talking to a king, dude.
So he can arm things with his force field, or okay.
Andy, who's this actor? Who is this?
Yeah, who is the actor for that? We don't know. They just revealed this, that they never showed the actor. I don't think so. Now, I don't think this is going to be a villain sector. I still think the dual villain sector is all but confirmed with that scene that we got in the trailer.
That's on me, everybody.
Could just be no, that's not a cutscene. It was a gameplay. It was a gameplay clip.
You gotta hit him with everything we got, Sandra. We can't be out there.
Yeah, we're not messing around.
And anything you do see, I mean, keep in mind, like, this is normal difficulty with a level 4 Black Panther at this point. So I would say, seeing things at their full capacity when you level up, we could better judge. But I mean, right now, again, I think this is just a mini boss. I don't think this is him in his full capacity, because you are having to disable the cannon's power cores. So if you take this away, I mean, he's just a guy with a minigun in a force field. And I don't think that would make for a great boss fight, right? You know, like I think they've thought that through to this. Oh, so he just drops it. He just says "fuck it," which also makes me think he's not gonna use that permanently. So.
Is there anyone you like? Yeah, everyone is great.
Listen, we all know Troy Baker, not a cool dude. Is there
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this unfolds in the actual boss fight, because this is it's not, you know, super crazy or anything.
You guys had such a great relationship on screen.
Also, Usman Ali, who played Modok, like that guy is incredible, like an incredible actor. Watch him on TV.
Not on TV.
Beat. I'm becoming a god.
Yeah, not too many things to say about this so far. I mean, like, it's just a good introduction, I guess, to seeing the character right now. But again, I don't know if this is it. Like, this doesn't look like villain sector worthy material, in my opinion, in terms of seeing it later. I think this is something that, again, will evolve into what we really want to see later. But it's cool that they introduced him that way. Like, you actually fight him, and it's not just, oh, he's here, and he disappears. All right. Oh, bug. No. His helmet's up while it's actually down at the same time. That's a bug.
Yeah, I think it's a visual glitch, like I said, pre-release code, right? And it's also
yeah.
I think it's just that.
Okay, but again, it's a dev build. It's a dev build. Keep that in mind. It's not. And this is a dev build from 2 weeks ago. I'm pretty confident that they fixed that.
Yeah, you're right, Kevin. This is a great point. We're going to stop here. That's mission complete, the way it began. And so as we do that, we will continue the War for Wakanda launch party here on twitch.tv/crystaldynamics, twitch.tv/Square Enix, Play Avengers over on YouTube, and wherever you get all of your Avengers content. Remember, of course, I'm Greg, that's Sandra, and we, for 3 hours today, are running through and doing a whole bunch of different stuff for you.
Oh,
2 missions.
Burdens on T'Challa and Shuri govern the hidden country of Wakanda from the world. Okay.
So yeah, if you want to start bringing over Evan and Hannah, Kevin, that'd be great. We're bringing over writer Hannah McLeod and narrative designer Evan Narcissus. Kevin, I will rely on you to tell them when to activate their cameras and do all that stuff. But this is the next thing here as we go through to talk about War for Wakanda. Of course, launching tomorrow.
Wait, you're not going to play the second mission? Where are you?
Yes.
Bam, bam.
No. Okay, so they only played one mission. I mean, for the viewers, I guess that saves them a little bit of
What's up, y'all?
spoilers. But they only played one mission. They might play the second mission later, maybe. But
Excited?
Yeah. Hannah, what's it like for you, one of the writers on this game, to be here? People finally looking at it, getting to talk about it, hearing the voice lines you wrote.
Oh my god, it's crazy. Like I've been working on this for so long, and to realize it's coming out tomorrow doesn't feel real.
I feel you, girl. I feel you.
And then Evan, yeah, I guess same question for you, of course. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is not Evan's first go around with the old Black Panther. There it is.
Wow.
I have that.
The iPad.
I have that.
You know, I'm a big fan of Comixology. I'm sorry. I still love my local comic book shop. I go there. Look at that. We got it covered on both ends.
Thank you.
What's it like for you to, expand your portfolio of Black Panther work, I guess, to something that's interactive, that, is going to get to an audience that maybe doesn't read the comics?
That's actually,
it was,
yeah.
That consideration that this would be another mass media adaptation of Black Panther after the character has become a global phenomenon was like so energizing but also daunting. Like it was like, wow, people are hungry for more Wakanda.
Yeah,
and this
definitely.
video game is going to be one of the first places they can go to revisit it.
Sure.
So that pressure was really intense, but also like, it was kind of liberating to think about how we can what we can take from the Black Panther mythos and make our own. And Hannah and the team at Crystal Dynamics were really great partners in figuring that stuff out.
Yeah.
No, you were.
Evan, you might just be the most articulate person I've ever seen in my life.
He is though.
So, what a great team this looks
Let me get some water really quick.
And so
we had lots of fun. Go ahead, Greg.
No, please, no. This is the party. We all can just talk. Don't worry about it.
Oh, my question for you, Miller, is it really cold enough to be wearing that jacket, or are you just trying to show off some swag?
Miller.
First off, it is chilly in the basement. All right, yeah. And so
Yeah,
I put it
Greg.
on, and I do look
You're making me
ratchet,
jealous again.
All right, so let's not. You know what I mean? I don't come over there. It's so warm. You got to wear this cool print shirt. No, I don't do that.
I mean, you can sell it to me. I would literally buy that off, dude.
No, I'm a little jealous.
Sure
I'm
you
big enough to admit that.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
That's
I
the
want one.
question I have, though.
I've always
in terms
wanted
of
one
you guys
since the
working
very
together,
beginning.
right? And,
I
Evan,
want
you're a
one.
narrative designer on it. Hannah, you're one of the writers. Hannah, what does that relationship mean to somebody who doesn't know anything about making games like this?
So, I'm technically a narrative designer / writer on the project, but it really depends on what studio you're at, what that means.
Okay.
Generally, the way I think about it is the writer actually writes the dialogue, and then the narrative designer has a lot to say about how the narrative comes across in the game. So how lines are implemented, how the story is told through levels, that kind of thing. And so I do a little bit of both of that.
Okay.
And Evan did tons of narrative design direction just in terms of what our story was going to be. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the story was pretty much set. When I came on board, it was more about where do we polish, what do we sharpen, what do we accentuate and highlight, and how does that loop back into the mechanics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And so when that happens, how does that work? Hannah, did you guys already have this outline for what you wanted? Obviously, I assume you knew long before launch you wanted Black Panther to be this expansion, this character.
Oh yeah. We had a plot. I think there's two very different aspects to writing for games. There's the overarching plot, which has a lot more to do with the mechanics and stuff like that, and then there's the characters. And so we had the plot in place, we knew what the plot was, and then working with Evan was a lot of digging down into the character motivations, why they do what they do, what in their past has led them to where they are now, what choices are they going to make that are still going to feel true to the character. So it was a lot of that stuff, especially with T'Challa. We really wanted to show parts of him that maybe we haven't seen before. I think the one note that Evan kept giving me was to remember that he's a scientist, because he's very intelligent. He's actually comparable to the other really smart members of the Avengers. So that was one that we really tried to hone in on, is that he's very intelligent.
I love that so much about this team, by the way. As an actor, it is so fun to work on a fully fleshed out character with an arc and a story and real intentions and motivations, and you guys are really, really smart about that. Of course, like it's not, it's never fun to be like, oh, I'm just like gonna say random words for no reason. So thank you guys so much for putting in all that care and effort. It really shows.
Oh, thank you.
And so, you talk about that Evan, you're very he has to be a scientist. He is a scientist. When you come on this project and I guess you're given just the plot, you get to fill it in. Where do you start honing in on what Marvel's Avengers Black Panther is going to be?
Part of it is thinking about opportunities that the game will give us that previous adaptations and even comic storylines haven't, right? So, like, okay, Kamala's meeting T'Challa and Shuri for the first time. What is that like? We know she's gonna nerd out, but like, about what specifically, right? How does she express her like awe and
yeah.
And like, what does a dude like Tony Stark think when he's like, the bathroom's here, I'll class my armor. Like, what is that like? So thinking about those opportunities, and also, like, okay, so this is a character that you can control, right? So, what parts of the environments should have like narrative embedded inside of them, right? And again, some of those decisions were made before I even came on, but it's like figuring out how to deepen them, right? So it's like, in this version of Wakanda, there are like ancestral shrines all over the place, right? So it's like, okay, we can talk about the history of the place in a different way, right? And the history of the place, because it's an interactive environment, is embedded inside the experience in a different way, right? Like, to compare it to the movie.
I'm here, guys. I'm here. I'm just invested. I'm just invested.
Here, you get to visit a place that has had history attached to it, right? And kind of pull that stuff out. You can go as deep as you want. You can just run through it and fight the bad guys and be done. But you can also you can read every piece of lore, which is how I play video games. So
it
those
broke my
kind of
heart
things.
a second ago to have to run through the thing and not look at the shrines and be like, oh god, we're late.
Yeah.
Well, it gives people who are watching this a chance to do it themselves. And
Exactly.
slow down.
I mean, she's not wrong.
That much either,
She's not.
wanted you to have the ability to parry and enjoy yourself more. Right? Hannah,
She's not
one
wrong.
of the questions I wanted to pull from over on the Play Avengers subreddit that I got there, right, was Mr. Stash's question. He wrote in and said, how long has it been since the Reassemble campaign to the War for Wakanda campaign universe?
Yes, this
have
is
you
a
been
very
active for
important.
a year or a bit, or has it only been a few months?
I need to know
Obviously,
this.
we're
This
gonna
is
get
very
more into it,
important.
but we ended that first mission, right, with Cap and Iron Man are there unannounced. Like,
Yeah.
what is going on since A-Day 5 years ago and whatever's been happening since the end of the actual game?
Yeah, absolutely. So
Well,
our
since the
thought
end
process
of
is it's only
Future
been a few
Imperfect.
months.
Okay.
So each new release, each new pack, so Kate and Clint and War for Wakanda are consecutive. So they happen one after another after another. And so the Avengers are still, it's pretty tenuous. Their public perception of them has not shifted a ton.
Okay,
since the end
that's
of
what
the
I. That's what I
original
thought.
campaign.
That's what I thought. Because AIM is very much still in the public spotlight in terms of control.
The idea of Wakanda's story in this is that before A-Day, T'Challa and Cap were in, they're friends, and they were in discussions of a possible alliance between the Avengers and Wakanda. And then A-Day happens, and Wakanda's like, I'm out. Nope, it was a mistake. And so they've been in isolation for 5 years during that time. And then, of course, AIM has now built up their power, and they want more. So they enlist this mercenary Ulysses Claw to get them vibranium. And so that's sort of how Wakanda is pulled back into all of this madness.
Everybody wants it.
Yeah.
Everybody wants vibranium.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, even Roy's gonna want vibranium at some point, you know.
You're coming in as somebody who's already written a Black Panther comic, knows it so well, right? Because you're a huge fan too, obviously. Yeah. How do you come in and craft this Wakanda, this T'Challa, this Shuri to be something people recognize, especially off of obviously the MCU and what a big touchstone that's been, a milestone it's been, like you said, getting to come back and celebrate it. Have it be familiar but be different and be intriguing.
You know, one of the things, Greg, is like a game like this, because there's NPCs and there's overheard dialogue, you really get a texture of what Wakandan culture is on the ground, right? Like, what are the subjects over whom T'Challa rules? Like, what do they think about the job he's doing, or the fact that all these
Oh, okay, that's true. That's true.
So that kind of stuff
That'd
is
actually be
really
interesting
enriching,
too.
right? And it feels like, okay, this is something we can do that's different than the movie, or even some of the comics, you know. So that aspect is one thing, you know, like putting, you know, characters like Captain America in close proximity to T'Challa is always fun because those characters always had a kinship in the comics, and like reinforcing that, and hopefully, you know, look, I'm gonna be blunt. One of my big desires here is like, yeah, let's use this game and the popularity of this release to pull people back to the source material, right? Which I feel like is so rich and so deep. So, you know, thinking about opportunities where the different iterations of a character can talk to each other across different media is like always super fun to me, you know? So like there's stuff in here, like there's like a little moment between Clint and T'Challa where it's like, if you know, you know. It's kind of referencing the kind of weird antagonism they had in the movies, you know, but like it's not dependent on you knowing that.
But, like,
he's in.
They're in there.
So
They're in the DLC.
Like I think
for any doubters, they're there.
A game like this, an expansion like this, is really uniquely suited to handle.
Sure. Hannah, you talked about, you know, when Evan comes on, you guys have already had this outline. You knew what you wanted your plot to be. How do you come up with that plot? Is that just organic of, all right, cool, everything that happens in the core game, and then obviously with Clint and Kate afterwards, but everything that's happening there, you know, AIM is going to start, you know, spreading out. Monica is going to get crazier and crazier. That you need to go see who it would actually be that she goes after.
Explain how Monica is communicating with Claw. Explain that.
She's definitely our big bad. She was the surprise, like, come in at the end and has survived all of the madness with MODOK. So there's always the thought to, okay, what is Monica's plan now? What would she possibly be interested in? But the other piece of it is what characters and worlds would bring more value to the overarching Korean invasion story. So trying to think about how each of the puzzle pieces can be put in place to set us up for that big climax. And so that's really where a lot of the Wakanda.
I hear a plate. There's something in the background.
And then we also just really wanted to do justice to some characters, especially like Ulysses Claw, that maybe people haven't seen a ton of, or have only seen sort of a one-dimensional version of. And so this gives us the chance to sort of craft some villains that are very different from MODOK, who maybe don't think that they're the hero of their own story. and
Bring back MODOK. Bring back MODOK.
They're doing their thing for
We need
personal
him back.
motives, and they know that they're personal. If that makes sense.
Sure.
Such a different vibe.
Yeah.
Than MODOK.
Yeah,
I
MODOK was
think
just fucking
genuinely believes he was
insane.
doing the right thing for most of his experience, and I think Claw does not have any illusions as to what he's doing.
Yeah.
Right. You just want to yell at Claw. MODOK, you just want to stay away, kind of.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Me anyway. I'm afraid of everything. Anyway.
I mean, for Claw, even in the war table, right, where he literally says, right, like, I have a vendetta against the other Black Panther. He's dead. This will have to do. Like, you're like, all right, cool, bro.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's not the normal way that you'd see it go for most of the villains who think they're the hero. No, not at all. He knows what he is. I like that. So then, Evan, for you, you know, again, knowing so much about Black Panther, having written comics for him, what's your favorite thing about War for Wakanda? Like, what stands out when you think this is what's special about this?
You know, it's funny. It's kind of linked back to your other question about making this iteration different. Some of the changes to T'Challa's backstory.
Was the stream having
really
issues?
Fun. Like, I remember when Hannah and the team walked me through it, I was like, "Word, y'all are doing that? Okay." So you know, you let the giddiness pass, and you're like, "Okay, so here's how we can use that." You know, to influence our approach to this version of the character. And the same thing with Claw.
My gosh.
You know, it's like, okay, well.
Why is it
the changes
so behind?
for
I'm
this
gonna
version,
refresh really
hopefully-
quick. It's kind of behind for some reason. I don't know why.
That dude, you know, with the big like sound blaster on his arm and that weird face. And
I don't know if
kind of
it's
like a
their
real
stream or
situation happening,
what, but
like
it's not
how
me.
he gets there is a little bit different. And you know, I think, look, my one of my goals was like, all right, if you're a dude like me who's loved this character his entire life, why should I show up? You know, is this going to be a replay of the stuff I'm already familiar with and experienced? What's going to be different here? So that I think is the biggest draw for me, you know. But also, like, you know, Black Panther's shown up in video games before, but he's always been like a side character. You know, like, all right, we'll do some vibranium as part of the plot. We'll do this mission, and we'll go to Wakanda, and then we'll bounce. But no, it's like, no.
That's a good point. Very good point. Yeah.
It's
in a lot of games, he's been made like that.
And that feels really special.
And then Hannah, what about you? Same question.
Oh God. Can I see two things?
Of course, you can say as
Who am I
much as you want. You were one of the writers on the game, and this is the launch party for you.
Okay. The first thing that's probably my favorite is we had to figure out exactly what each hero's personal relationship was to T'Challa, as well as their opinion of Wakanda. And a lot of that gets to be explored in our new outpost, the Bir Ninzana outpost. And Keanu Robin and Jessica Krause worked a lot of the narrative for that section, and they developed a relationship between Thor and Wakanda that is like one of the funniest, like, best moments ever. So please go talk to Thor when you go to the outpost, because it's just like
I'm making a note.
I'm making a note
because we're going right after this. We're right back into it. Talk to Thor.
Yeah, I like it. And then on my side of things,
I can't wait to hear the devs.
There's an intel document, and the intel documents kind of turn into sort of monologues.
I want them to ask the question of where is the game going.
Like the fan fiction that
he said he was gonna ask that. So if he's not gonna ask that, then it's like, well.
There's one from T'Challa's point of view.
Oh, what is this?
Yes. Oh my God, I have it on my wall back here.
I got all my props here. I got all my props here.
I want one of those.
Yeah, there's.
Where do you get those from? I want one.
There's an intel document that you can pick up from T'Challa's perspective about one of the backstory tweaks that we make. And when Chris Judge performed it, we were all crying on the Zoom call. Like, it was so incredible. I mean, obviously there was a ton of stuff going on last year, and that had, came with part of it. But his performance, I feel like that was the time where I was like, no other actor could have done this. Like, I'm so glad we got Chris, because I don't think any actor could have gone where he went with that. So keep your eyes out. You'll know which one it is. It's really obvious. But yeah, that's probably one of my favorites, is that everything had to come together for Chris to perform those lines.
And his performance, I was saying while we were playing, right, is just off the charts. Like, I can't get over the fact that this is Chris Judge. Like, somebody whose voice I feel like I know so well. But then you play this and it doesn't sound like him.
Yeah,
we
had our theories. But in the end, I think we all eventually agreed that it was Chris Judge.
Okay, so that's what's special about it. I'm trying to get the show
way
back
back
on,
when, if you get what I'm saying.
Schedules here and everything else. So I do want to know, like, what's on the tip of your tongue, Evan? Like, what do you want people to know about this expansion, or what's your favorite memory from it, or anything that you would want people to know before they set off on it tomorrow?
The way it kind of honors and remixes some of the source material from the comics, but also charts its own story. There's always been this delicious tension between T'Challa and the Avengers. Even if you go back to some of the Silver Age stories, and this mines that to like such an incredible degree. Like, it's just like, are y'all gonna get along? And that is such a great part of the story, I think.
Okay. Hannah, same question for you.
I really just want them to fall in love with Wakanda the way we did. I feel like that was sort of our driving force in everything from every single team. It was this
Man, see, I want some artwork like that. That they all got some kind of really cool artwork in their house.
Idealism, but also like
probably
so
exclusive artwork.
There's so many different layers to it. So I hope people love Wakanda. I mean, Black Panther's awesome, don't get me wrong, but he's got an entire nation that comes with him that is amazing.
I don't think it'll be too difficult to fall in love with Wakanda. And the story you've created, and of course all the great voice acting, and the art is just gorgeous. So
10 out of 10 so far. 10 out of 10.
And yeah, that's
the amount of work. Sorry, Greg.
No, please.
If I can really quickly, the amount of work that all the visualization teams, animation, design, everything from concept onto the final execution is just amazing. Because again, the pressure of having to imagine a new version of Wakanda that's interactive, and you can walk up to that tree and see like, oh, okay, how do they integrate the technology into the environment? Like, that stuff is utterly amazing.
Yeah, I've loved it. I mean, I was on Wakanda back when it was just gray boxes, and as they started bringing things in and figuring out what the
Gray
look and feel of
boxes,
the
eh?
country was, it was just like mind blown constantly. Our
Man, that's
team
early
they
early
really went all
stages.
out.
Yeah.
And at the risk of sounding like a shill, sorry, Greg, this is how excited I am.
Stop, stop apologizing. Joey, tell everyone who's going to be coming in. It is a launch party. We are hanging out and having fun. And it's a stupid pandemic, so we all have to be on Discord so people stop and go, you talk. You have fun. You made this. Be proud of it.
No one should apologize
proud,
to Greg
Hannah.
ever. No one apologizes to Greg. I hope your wife is listening. Don't apologize.
But just to finish my thought, the suits, some of the suits in this are
oh my god,
amazing. And there's some really deep cuts to the comic book lore in the suits that are just...
I can't wait to explore that. I honestly can't.
Well done, guys.
When I went through naming the suits, it was purely to get Evan's approval. I would name it and be like, look what reference I slipped in. Look at this.
They did it.
Oh my gosh, we got a lot to decode
It
tomorrow.
was press preview, and I got to go through this. Of course, the first thing I did was jump in and look at the suits, right? And then I did the same thing today. But when I did it, they still had the marketplace up, and so there were so many. And I'm like, I am going to spend so much money on this.
You hear that?
Like,
You hear
I
that?
need
He's a fucking
all
whale
of this.
too. Okay, he's a whale too. You guys can stop calling me a whale.
You should both be very, very proud. Thank you for coming on today and doing this. Congratulations on the launch.
Thanks for having us, Greg. Thanks.
Thank you to Sandra, too. I haven't seen you in forever.
I know, I miss you. Yay, thank you, guys.
All right, y'all, enjoy. Thank you.
We're going right back to Wakanda now with more gameplay, Kevin.
Oh,
If
we're
you
getting
wanna switch
to
over
okay,
that graphic,
okay,
I can't
okay.
see if you already did. No, you didn't already. We're gonna kick over here. We're gonna pick right back up with the story here as we walk into the Wakanda throne room.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yes, Evan.
Awesome. So we're gonna get to
Good job, Kevin. Look at that. Like I
the
said,
next mission
I
after
like how
this.
Sandra's slowly lobbying to get even more Ms. Marvel time. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I missed you too. Put me in the game. We can if you put me in the next expansion. Put me in the next mission. All right, Sandra, you ready to jump back in?
Yes, let's go.
We'll go everybody back to it, and I will parry this time, even though I don't think it is needed as much as you see it. Well,
No, just show us the parry, boy.
Okay, we got Jeff, we got Nolan.
yeah, see, the Iron Man bug is my fault. I put him in that thing. I should have left him in the other scene. That's me. Again, pre-release content.
You made it.
King T'Challa.
See, he addressed it, and plus it's other build from like 2 weeks ago. He said.
Why he has taken a sudden interest in my country.
Likely has something to do with us stealing a very powerful weapon of theirs.
So this literally takes place
I see.
after the villain sector, but like.
You did not need advanced idea.
We've been swatting them like flies for weeks.
So you know about the corrupted vibranium. What it can do to things. And people.
We are working on a treatment for those affected by it. And I'm narrowing down its source, but how do you know about it?
Because we've seen it outside of Wakanda.
That's not good.
Okay, so the event that we know about is probably how they know about.
He's the head of AIM operations here.
What?
The information we've gathered is deeply entrenched in the black market vibranium trade, like his father was.
You're not concerned.
Only by his sonically based technology. It disrupts anything made of or powered by vibranium, including our shields and scanners. But AIM will not be cloaked forever. I can promise you that.
We believe that technology has something to do with the corruption.
Then we made it just in time.
To offer help.
To ask for yours. Now that we know AIM's involved, we can give you information. If you need it. But vibranium is your specialty.
Net the locations of corrupted vibranium outside of Wakanda. We need to know how far it has spread and plan a dispersal method for medical treatments.
I'm on it.
Have a look around.
Okay, so again, that takes probably another thing with the whole event, which now makes more sense.
Captain Rogers, can you meet me in my lab?
All right, so here we go. First chance we can actually explore Wakanda.
On my way.
The first chance you get to explore the palace, not Wakanda.
I am humbled. So royal.
What? Gear vendor. Okay, gear vendor. See, Look, everybody's there. Kate.
Run, Jeff.
Okay, I don't know where Clint is.
Do you
But-
keep in
but
touch
Kate's
with any
there.
Avengers? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I text with them every now and then. Michael Johnston, who plays Dante, is like one of my best friends now.
You mentioned you would be willing
Okay.
to share something.
I met him
Whatever you need.
on the mocap scene.
Wakanda will have access to all resistance intel.
Thank you. Now, I am surprised the corrupted vibranium has spread so far beyond our borders. We will need to contain the damage Claw has done.
You got eyes on him?
Tell him about the Kimoyo network.
Kimoyo?
This is the Kimoyo network. Well, part of it.
In cap speak, it's the internet. But better. Much better.
The Kimoyo network provides our people access to all of Wakanda's collective knowledge. We use it for communication, transportation, and a great many other things. All thanks to our Kimoyo beats.
And she won't let us have them. Citizens only.
We have been using the network to keep track of Claw's movements. He is quiet for now, but if he makes any noise, our warriors will find him.
Well, I don't doubt it.
Thank you for the data, Captain. And when you get a moment, there is someone else who wants to meet you.
Who's that?
Zawavari. Fuck. Hold on. Help me pronounce this. Zawavari. Zawavari.
That's new.
I want to say with an accent though, but clearly I can't. Easily, this is the best
Love
hub
that
so
he
far.
skips, like 5 steps at a time.
I mean, he's Captain America. He
Damn, you can't,
go to-
Sandra, you can't call him out like that.
You-
Oh, see?
Oh!
Clint is here.
Yeah.
Kate is here.
I think that's weird.
There you go. There's your freaking archers.
You're the minority now. This is just how things are.
What? Really?
Yep.
Oh, man. That sucks.
It's not all bad. For every person who stares, there's like 1,000 who smile for you. You welcome me for being different. For being you.
So we got everybody. The whole crew's here.
My moments.
That was you, Sandra. That was you. So uplifting,
Yay.
as always. I feel like the amount of times I say,
Oh,
it isn't a thing
okay.
you are, it's a thing you do. Thank you every time. Thank you, and Abu.
Yeah.
I like that they're responsive too. I'm sure that. Wait, Wakandan what? Wakandan what? What did it say?
Yeah. These candles. The sucker for a good candle. Lavender all the time.
After you? Oh, pipe down. I have a guest.
Wakandan elder. Okay, I was like,
Steve Rogers.
is he a vendor though, or is
We can finally meet face to face.
no? One of them is supposed to give you
Day of his encounter.
Sonic and Vibranium gear. Well, wait,
You may call me Zawavari,
Zawavari. Okay,
technical advisor to the Wakandan royal family.
Magic exists in this game. Just so you know.
King seems to
Doctor Strange,
do not
Wanda Maximoff. One day.
decision.
I won't take our position lightly. I promise.
In return, a secret. The gods have far more to do with Wakanda's impressive technology than you might guess. As sneaks, the princess's assistant, Minya. I will tell him I sent you.
Your guidance is appreciated.
And may the Orisha guide you as well, Captain.
Okay.
Look, we got Thor over here. We were told to talk to Thor. That's one note. Talk to Thor from Hannah. All right.
Oh,
There he is.
okay.
Thor, didn't expect to see you in a place like this.
Midgard sorcery has always piqued
See?
interest. The royal
Again,
shaman
more
is
confirmation magic exists.
Find you going through all of his stuff.
What? Of course not. We're the best of friends already. We are not.
Okay, I'll leave you to it.
That would be for the best.
Telling you.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that relationship develops.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
We're friends already. No, we're not.
Doctor Strange, Wanda Maximoff.
It never registered to me that he was the captain of a
Yeah, you like that? Yeah.
Zaravari,
gear vendor. This is the one that drops the Sonic gear and stuff.
Because sending people messages inside their head is unsettling. Oh, they are here. Shh.
This is quite the workstation.
Combat research and development, all of which is now available to you as well. You may thank Princess Shuri for that.
I will. You working on anything interesting?
Take a look. Zawavari has been helping me uncover the more mystical properties of vibranium. Perhaps you'll reap the benefits, should you prove yourself a worthy ally of Wakanda.
That's a lot to live up to.
Follow our king, and all will be well.
That's nice meeting you, Nix.
Steve,
Okay.
we need you in the war room.
So we have two gear vendors. I mean, I think Zawavari is the other gear vendor. It makes sense. Damn, did they not add running in this hub? I hope they added running, because I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of slow sometimes.
Captain Okoye, what seems to be the problem?
King T'Challa has a request. Our scouts have reported Claw is mobilizing his forces throughout Wakanda with remarkable ease.
We believe Claw's found a blind spot in Wakanda's security systems. Okoye will investigate and we'll reinforce if necessary.
Claude does seem to know what he's doing.
Many have tried to conquer Wakanda, to rob us of our heritage. As you can see, they have all failed.
And so will Claw. We'll help you however we can.
Good. You have permission to use our water. Let's put that vibranium of yours to good use.
Yeah.
Thank you, Okoye.
Let's get it going. And now we have officially, okay, we got Black Panther officially on our team, on our roster. All right, show us something. Oh, it's just on a mission.
You guys are gonna make me spend a lot of time in photo mode. Well, yeah, this is beautiful.
Right?
Yeah.
Totally. Especially with all the cool suits and all the new looks and all the new areas of Wakanda they're going through. And I love the helmet variant. I need that for the more traditional cap skin. Obviously, I have one I'm wearing now, but
You just wanted to show off this suit.
As usual, I have no idea what you're talking about. I recognize the Avengers as allies of Wakanda.
Thank you. I hope we do you justice.
You will have to get used to keeping up with me.
That's my brother's version of a warm welcome. You will also have
Prince
to get
Mufasa
used to
says,
that.
Shuri sounds great. It's Erica
You
Luttrell. She'll
finally
be doing
agree
this
to
soon.
accept help, and it is from
Alongside
outside
the
us.
rest of the cast.
That is not like you.
I am not accepting help. I am giving it.
Then let me send teams to the corrupted sites. Take the Dora Milaje with you when you confront AIM. Do something other than driving yourself headfirst into danger.
I am not just a king on a throne. I am the Black Panther.
Then show us you can be both.
I will.
Big words, Sandra. Big words. Let's see if you can do it. By him, I mean me.
Avengers, I hope you have fun.
Thor in his casual fucking outfit.
Your people have been most welcoming. I'd like to see more of Wakanda once Claw's been dealt with.
When does it come out? Tomorrow, near 8 a.m. Pacific Standard. So, give or take, it could be different for different platforms, which means 10-15 minutes apart, you know, to get the update file. So, but it comes out tomorrow, so we'll all be able to experience this for ourselves.
Signal. If Claw has broken the Kimoyo encryption, something is very wrong.
Then I think it is about time the Avengers see what the Black Panther is truly capable of.
It would be an honor to tag along.
Move fast. I do not like the idea of Claw hacking our technology.
Of course, in the war table they pointed out early, that nearly all the missions would be multiplayer for War for Wakanda. They said in the thing, right, of course, that it would be like, hey, you got to do the initial one. Here's where you start playing with the Avengers. Obviously, you can start having people searching.
World of Wakanda. Oh,
Again,
no.
I've said this before. Debugs, pre-release code.
Okay.
Sandra, don't throw it in my face. I swear.
Okay.
It's a pre-build. Pre-build.
Right.
I'm gonna try it again. It's always good when you look over at the Crystal Dynamics representative and he just shrugs. I love it. Thank you very much. Again, I mean, we were behind schedule, so it doesn't matter. Pick it up.
What was that? The hell?
I love the shrug.
Okay, so you can't run. He was just being slow for some reason.
I love these like lines that fade in and out of your headphones. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, as you run by him.
Yeah.
It makes the world just much more immersive when you hear that. Like you're there.
Skip the cutscene.
Avengers, I hope you have familiarized yourselves with...
Oh, he cut himself off.
Download failed. Mission downloads or aborting mission. Now, Sandra, here's where lesser hosts, lesser producers would panic. You know what I mean? We're supposed to play the second mission. If something's wrong with this debug stuff on the unreleased code that's already being, prepped for blah, 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 we don't panic.
No,
Kevin.
we're calm.
Kevin, do you read me? Can we play the second mission that I gave you, the video?
Oh, that's smart.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's right. We planned for what if Greg dies? What if I explode? What if there's a gas leak?
See?
What if a dinosaur
That's
tears
smart.
out?
Smart
What if
moves.
Sandra has to
Smart
host this by
moves.
herself? We have backup video. We have contingency plans. Everything's gonna be fine. Go over there. Bananas in the chat says, yeah, do you have Black Panther's harm room? Yeah, we have Black Panther's harm room. And guess what? You were already gonna get Black Panther in a harm room with the 150 character. You don't have to worry about that. We're not burning that here. We're not using that here. That's coming up later.
I love this, Greg. Someone is using your face as an emoji.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of emojis out there. I don't know if they're very popular on the internet.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Love it.
Interesting. Okay.
Kevin's giving me questions.
So, I was thinking maybe it could be a max champion level Black Panther, but
let it play
it's
in the
not.
little window and we can just watch it. There you go. Can you scrub through to when we launch the mission?
Thank you, Karmic Justice.
Be honest. You just wanted to show off.
It only took me 14, 15 years in the industry to have a backup. You know what I mean? Because 3 years ago, I want to know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Easy Allies is hosting this. They panic. They jump out the window. But us, kind of funny. We're fine. We got it.
Yeah, we're good.
Thank you.
Sandra.
That screen looks really good.
Standing out to you most so far as we.
Hey. You can't just skip like that, man. What are you doing? My dude. You can't be skipping like that.
Kevin, are we in?
Kevin, go back, bro.
Excellent. Well, it's a thing. I didn't know if people were seeing what I was seeing.
Kevin, bro.
We're off to the races here as we watch three candidates.
Bro.
I know Greg's not playing. You're upset about it. I understand, but don't worry. I'm sure this person's fine. Of course, you get to play this tomorrow when Marvel's Avengers launches its War for Wakanda expansion around 8 a.m. Pacific time, as we've talked about. So here we go. Finally we get to see Black Panther team up with the Avengers and brawling through there. And that's what it's all about, Sandra. Teaming up.
Yeah. We're a team. I wonder when Chris Judge is coming soon. Chris Judge, Erica, Deborah, Dave. We got it.
They're all there. They're all coming through to talk about their roles in the game. Don't you worry. The cast is up next. You can get a taste. Oh, there you are. That's you again. In Biggin.
Oh.
My eyes are just. Hey.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I know, right? I still like the little lines of dialogue back and forth.
Yeah.
And then giving each other
How did Ghost people get inside the pass?
They must have stolen Kimoyo beads. I will track the ones they used. Shut them out of the network.
This will take us near the border.
back into that tram I was talking about. I'll tell you what. So last week, obviously, Sandra, I got to go preview this down at Crystal. Talk about it on the shows, and then obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you ain't gotta brag, Greg.
You decided you wanted to live in LA and you wanted to be an actress. I hope it's working out for you. I decided I want to live in SF and barely make rent and go play video games. All right, so I get to play things every once in a while. It's karmatic. That's karmic justice. But when I was over there playing it, right, loved it obviously. Came back and then it was this weird weekend where all I wanted to do was play more and grind Black Panther, but I was like, oh, I still don't have it. So I turned it on and deal with like the old, still current, look for menus and stuff for Avengers, try to play other stuff, and I was like, oh, it's just not hitting the same way. So I'm very excited for tomorrow.
Yeah. I want to just like hang out here.
Now, it's funny you talk about hanging out here, right? This is obviously, the new kind of elevator here. One of the things I've seen get so much traction in the post-launch of Avengers, right? The life as it lives on and keeps going, are all the conversations you guys get to have in the elevators. Where especially when they, finally put out the PlayStation 5 version, load times were so much quicker that people were missing out on elevator content, right? Like you can get out of it if you don't want to, you miss it. When you guys recorded those conversations, how did that work? Is that stuff you're doing?
Oh, look, it's a loot bot.
The mocap set, is that stuff you're doing in, like you were talking about, where you're just like,
get the loot bot. What are you doing?
Because it sounds so organic. Is like, there was one the other day that I think I saw. Or
Damn.
It was either Goldfarb talking about it, or it was the subreddit of like, oh man, like you're talking to Tony's like, anybody, you got any questions for me? And he's like, what's it like having Cap as a leader? I was like, such a great dunk on him. But it sounds so natural. Is that stuff that was already written? Is that all improv? What's going on with that?
Sometimes we riff and like I don't know what they keep and what they don't.
Sure.
But we do have all of that does sound like the stuff we do in the booth by ourselves. So we get all those lines and we're like, all right, cool, and then you do see the lines coming before and after you. And of course, keeping in mind like, oh, Nolan's gonna be saying those lines, so like I know him, they're gonna be snarky AF. So like. So yeah, I think knowing each other and having had worked together on the mocap stage definitely informs my behavior and my response.
You go through dealing with the sonic energies.
Oh yeah, look at those big hands.
See, this is even. Why were we gonna? They're gonna have me play this whole thing. This is an upgraded Black Panther. Look, he was throwing like shurikens there. I'm just throwing straight knives. He was throwing them with a curve. That's awesome. We're gonna see all that. Obviously, more coming up in the harm room, going through and seeing what the actual skill tree looks at, a bit more buffed up. But for now, hot on the trail of one Ulysses Claw.
We should destroy it.
Okay. Oh shit.
Rico, DeLeon Frosty says, Sandra, you've killed it as Kamal. I love your work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Question over here was this gameplay recorded on a PS4 or PS5? This was recorded on a PlayStation 5 as well. Yeah, I'm not being corrected by Crystal Dynamics.
Hi, Crystal Dynamics.
MRKO in the chat says, show us the challenge.
That's funny. You can't.
I did. You know what I mean?
Oh, you can't.
Look that up. Oh, wait, no, yeah. Remember, I tried to, and it was turned off. They're smart with what they're doing with the thing, so I can't show you everything. They want you to play it tomorrow, I guess. They want you to download it and be excited for something tomorrow.
Yeah, can't spoil everything for you.
I'll try though. When we get to the harm room, I'll try again to ruin it for you.
Okay. So right now we just kind of get to see the environment a little bit more.
Thank you, CD Devs, for all your hard work. Yes.
Yes. Praise the devs. Praise the devs. Give them their props. Props where it's due.
into our basically last 5 minutes, even less than that actually. At 11:45, we're gonna bring on the cast here. You'll get Christopher Judge, you'll get Deborah Wilson, you'll get Erica Luttrell, you'll get Dave Fenoy, all to come here and talk about this. Obviously, if you want to play this, if you want to see how the second mission ends, you can of course go tomorrow to your copy of Avengers.
Yeah.
and
Okay.
download
I kind of figured. I kind of
Of
figured.
course, like all the other expansions, all the other characters. Remember, of course, if you're a lapsed fan, no judgment here. All right. Of course, I'm not lapsed. I've been here the whole time. But if you, for some reason, said, you know what, I gotta go do other things. You got Clint, you got Kate, you got an Omega threat level. Even I doubt you're ready for it if you haven't been playing. Am I right, Sandra?
You're right.
They got no exotics. They don't know what they're doing over there. You get out of here. You got a villain sector with Monica. You got so much more stuff to play. But of course, War for Wakanda launching tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Greg, do you remember what Kamala's favorite ice cream is? Someone just asked, and I'm stumped.
You don't remember what Kamala's?
Talked about it must be an elevator conversation. I don't remember that as a plot point in the movie or that movie. Gosh, I'm
No,
sorry.
it was definitely an elevator.
Yeah. I just remember you with that Slurpee.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Also, is it weird when I?
Oh,
refer
he's
to
got a
Kamala
machine gun
Khan
too.
To you.
I'm used to it. I'm used to it.
Like I understand there's a difference, everybody. All right.
Oh wow. Oh, that shit didn't do anything. Yeah. Yeah, I'm liking this a lot.
Dragon S31 says it was talked about with Abu on A-Day. Well, what's the answer?
Yeah, yeah.
This is yeah.
I know.
This is it. This is it. If they can make more enemy types like that, more unique and interesting. Oh my god.
As usual, can I trust the chat?
Like the problem saying like we don't want more robots. I mean like in the end, if you want Ultron, you're gonna get robots.
Like your
It's
nightmare
about how they
Of like you're at a panel and like people
change
are
the
like, "I have a question
gameplay.
for you," and it's something
You
like
know,
you
like
said,
this
like,
is pretty
obviously 4
different.
years ago in a recording booth, you're like, I don't remember what that is.
I'm used to it by now. I get asked so many questions that like I cannot remember the answer to.
But again, we're gonna have to see how that new status type works with the
You're like, oh, listen, I'm glad it
with
made
the
an impact on you.
oh shit.
Study Drop D says I can trust him, or her, or them, because I said I don't know who I can trust in chat, but apparently I can trust Study Drop D. So I will from here on out, Study. Keep me honest.
That was weird. Anyways, as I was saying,
The Avengers just working these people.
it's about how you change the
What you get for
gameplay with
invading
these
Wakanda.
different types of enemy types.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this of course is the second campaign mission for War for Wakanda. You get to play it tomorrow, so we don't have to worry about ruining it or showing you. You already see Black Panther's pretty dope, and if you look at him, you're like, I don't know if Black Panther's all that dope to play as. Guess what? You'll get to find out a little bit later today when we go into the harm room with a leveled up Black Panther and get to show off some of the cool combos, movesets, stuff like that. Go through and pick some stuff. But for right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Kevin to start bringing over the cast. Of course, we're going to bring over Christopher Judge. We're going to bring over Deborah Wilson.
All right, well, that marks the end of the gameplay, the story-wise, at least.
About what it's like to be in this game. There it is. Dave Fenoy's turning on his camera.
It's-
Hello, Dave.
It's OBS.
How you feeling? What's going on?
Oh,
Feeling good, Dave. How are you?
OBS. OBS is broken.
Yeah, Sandra, you turn off your camera, and then Chris, Deborah, Erica, you feel free to turn on your camera. Look, it's happening. It's happening. It's happening.
Hi guys.
Well, Christopher Judge, you need to turn your camera. There it is. Bam, we did it. Look at it. We made it happen, everybody. The cast of War for Wakanda is here. Hello,
Look
Dave.
at him.
Hello,
Look
Deborah.
at
Hello,
him.
Chris. Hello, Erica. How are all of you?
So good.
Great, doing great.
That's what I love to hear. I'm so excited to do this with all of you. Of course, I've been banking my own questions for quite some time. I have a whole bunch of questions from everybody else, but let's start right at the top. Christopher Judge, how do you do this with your voice? All right.
We're just jumping right into this, aren't we?
Hey man, I'm here to keep a launch party going, Chris. All right, get on my level.
How do I do what with my voice?
I think I was, as I've joked around before on the stream, right? I feel like I have a good ear for voiceover. Whenever Dave Fenoy pops up in a trailer, I know it's Dave, and I call out Dave and I yell out that it's Dave. Sometimes I text Dave. For you, this T'Challa sounds nothing like your Kratos. It sounds nothing like you just speaking here. Like, was that hard for you to do? How did you get into that space?
It was extremely difficult because
this is my moneymaker.
Yeah.
So I wanted to really dive in and really explore the voice, and with the help and guidance of the wonderful Beth McGuire.
Man, look at this.
I was coerced, tempted, forced.
You could just hear Kratos in here like normally. This is crazy.
You talk about exploring this. One of the questions I think everybody had across the board, right, was put most eloquently, I think, by Six Black Falcon, who wrote in and said, "How long does it take to master the accent?" Deborah, when you get this role, this is a question for the entire panel. When you get this role, like, how do you start approaching this character of Okoye?
First of all, it's not a challenge to approach the character itself. It's more of a challenge to approach the dialect, and that really is very important. So we know that Okoye, in general, whether you've never read the comics or whether you know of her and have never seen the film itself, you know that she is a strong leader of the Dora Milaje.
Right.
And you know that she is a loyalist, and you know that she would die for her king and for her country. And you know that she's adept.
What he got up going in there? It's got some incense.
And she has all of that power.
What was that smoke right there?
Coming from that strength, you're strengthening your body, your mind, and everything that you're going to do. To me, that comes first. Once I strengthen up and shore up and my shoulders are back, my diaphragm then becomes more ready for me to be able to take on what I need to do. So when it came to Beth McGuire, even though it was a challenge, I was glad that it was a challenge, because as Okoye, I will hit that challenge, I will meet that challenge, and I will surpass that challenge. And so I really look forward to Beth continuing to
Damn, this dude is buff, bro.
Because
that's T'Challa right there, no doubt.
It comes from in taking on these tasks and then surpassing.
Jesus Christ, his voice is so fucking deep, bro.
Yeah, you know why?
You mean you don't?
Then I would be your alter Negro.
Oh shit. Holy shit.
This is your launch party. You go full screen anytime you want to, all right?
Oh my god.
Erica, was it the same for you and Shuri? Did you put your shoulders back, your diaphragm out, and feel like you're gonna take on the world?
I don't know about yes. I don't know. There was definitely a posture for the accent and for the characterizations and for where the voice sits in your body. Like you kind of have to, tip your head up. Like you can't slouch into it, interestingly enough. So it was just, there was a lot of sort of like back of the head vibration. I remember Beth being like, you need to hear it back here, feel it back here, and sort of resonate, which is very different from your natural speaking voice. It was a lot of technical stuff to get into the voice. So, yeah.
Dave, what about you? I want to make sure we go full circle with everybody. Like, how did you go?
One of the things I would say, I have not mastered this particular accent, which is why Beth was on set all the time. When I say on set, on the Zoom call, got it pretty good. But after every take, that you felt good about, where you felt like the acting was right, and you're right in there with the character, oh man, that felt great. And now the Beth test.
Yeah.
And sometimes, oh, that was great, keep going. And sometimes, oh, that word there. No, that O needs to be like this. No, you need to hit that letter. So there are a lot of accents that I do. I don't have to think about. This wasn't one of them.
Right. It's so interesting what Deborah said about your posture, your body, because I felt like at the size I was, that I couldn't do the voice. So I actually lost about 20 pounds, to be more lithe, more agile, more
okay, respectable.
More, as I envisioned T'Challa's physicality to be, because I was having real difficulties when I was kind of more muscular, and I felt heavier, and I felt the only place I could go was to sit in my voice because I was so heavy. And then as soon as I started lightening up weight wise. Okay, as Dave said, it was never easy, but it was more accessible.
How long was that process for you, Chris? Like, how long were you? I mean, were you already working on it, and then you're like, you know what? Hold on, I gotta drop 20 pounds. You're like, okay.
I kind of knew it my first session with Beth, that I had to be more agile, and so it was my first session. So I actually worked with Beth, I think 4 weeks or 5 weeks before we ever recorded.
Yeah.
So that's how far I had to go to get there. So
wow.
Because I kept requesting, I'm not ready. I need more sessions, and so through that, I was just losing weight.
Deborah, look how surprised you are.
Was it worried?
Did you just go in, knock it out of the park?
What's that?
So, were you losing weight because you were worried? Is worry weight dropping off? Am I gonna get this accent right?
Probably 50%, but yes.
And then Deborah, what did you say?
No, I'm just very fascinated because everybody's journey to get to that space is different. So when you're hearing this journey, it's very fascinating, and it also at the same time very inspiring because when you have a powerful instrument and you're willing to shape it in order to fit this other vessel, it's inspiring. It's a masterclass in dedication and devotion and passion to what you do, and that's why you are a consummate professional. And you're everything you do.
Coming from you, that means everything. That, truthfully, one of the most frightening parts of it was that I knew Deborah was there. So I knew I couldn't come in half. Otherwise,
trouble.
She's gonna have it.
But you know what? But you're also the kind of man that when you show up, you show out, and that inspires others. You know, we go forth all day long.
I want to just turn off my camera and let you guys have a conversation. Deborah, for you, what drew you to the project? Like, why'd you want to be a part of this one?
I didn't know what the project was, so honestly, it simply was an audition. And I knew how to do the general and the basic African accents. I knew two particular accents that I could, African accents, and I said, okay, West African accent, Nigerian, I can get that. And the general accent that's kind of light, which has an African lilt, but not over the top like Nigerian, I was like, I'm good with that. And so I had no idea what the project was. And believe it or not, it wasn't until I got to a callback of it that it started to come to fruition to what it was. And at that point, I'm still immersed in doing that accent, in finding that space, in becoming that energy, that it wasn't about whether I got it or not. I was too focused on, can I be in this space right now and hold this space? And feel good about what I'm holding. Feel good about
I'm quiet because I'm invested, so
they are going to
just
have
enjoy.
their own
Just
feelings
enjoy.
and opinions, but can I feel good about what I'm holding so that whether I book this or not, can I say I did the job? Because for me, booking and a job are two different things. When I'm in the booth, I did the job. I'm doing the job. I don't look back because I know I did the job. So if I don't book it, I know I did my job. So at that point, for me, it was also a matter of immersing myself in that moment and staying in that moment to do the job. And by the end of it, I was like, brush your shoulders off, play, you did the job. And so when I booked it, it was like, wow, great. So it wasn't over the top because I had no expectation. I dropped the expectation so I can focus on the job.
That's our real job, is to audition. Once we've been hired, we're having fun.
What you just said, every young actor should listen to that. Because the reality of what we do for a living is the audition process. Your audition is truly the only time you 100% own what you do. There's no input. You come with what you come with. You come with what you brought. And that is truly the only time that you are 100% in control of what you are doing. When you're on set, it's like, how about if you do it like this? Or if you took another 2 steps this way, then you'd find your life. Or things like that, right? So it's yes, you can come with your character, but there's other things that you can't control. So when you are in that room, over Zoom, over wherever, and you are auditioning, that's the only time you 100% control what you do.
Yes.
Chris, a question for you on that track. How long did it take you to learn that? You say every young actor should learn that, right? I remember I had Nolan North on a podcast around Iron Man, and he said a very similar thing of, right, like, he just goes in there and he does what he wants to do with that character, and if they don't like it, no harm, no foul, and he moves on, right?
That's right, and it allows you to sleep at night. You know, when you go in knowing this is my take on it, that's all I can do. Then it allows you to sleep at night. But if you're trying to, let's say, give someone what they want, you'll never sleep. Because then it'll be like, well,
What are you looking for?
If I oh damn it. Once you're honest with your performance, you can sleep at night. And it took me a long time to learn that. To learn that my victory, as Deborah said, my victory is going in there and showing what I think this is. That's my victory.
Erica.
Getting to it 100%.
Yes.
Erica, a question for you is, I see you nodding to all this.
Yeah.
I get it, right? You go in there, you own it. When you get it booked, is there a moment, like, I guess, and this applies to everybody, but right now with you, Erica, for sure, a character people know so well now from the MCU. If you are a comic book fan, obviously from comics, is there a moment of, awesome, I got it. People already have opinions about this character, and I need to figure out what my version is. Do you let that expectation get in your head?
No, thank goodness. Don't let it get in my head. I love this stuff. I mean, literally what I've always dreamed of doing is superhero stuff, and I've been able to do it as a voice person thus far. So, I mean, I was just kind of over the moon about it. This was my first time working with a dialect coach. So once they said, and you will be working with a dialect coach, Beth McGuire, wonderful, wonderful human. Then I got nervous. Like, you know, I auditioned with this accent. I thought didn't you like it? I don't know. Oh, shoot. So then, yes, working with Beth, I was like, okay, because obviously, yes, with the audition process, you bring what you have to give. You're in the moment. It's emotional. You're doing the things. And then, yes, on the set or in the booth, then there's the technicality. So what Dave was saying, for instance, about like, oh, there's that one word in a line. So you've given your emotional performance. You're dialed in. You're the character. And then they're like, actually, that one word, can you shift it? And then you're like, okay. But you have to bring all of that emotion and all of that presence to the line. But remember
right.
to say it this very specific way. So that was a little nerve-wracking, but also fun.
Yeah. Did it get easier as it went on? Because I feel I totally understand what you're talking about. You're in the moment, you're delivering, and then, okay, cool, you got to get back to that place.
Yeah. It did get easier, thank goodness. I mean, it's sort of like also developing a rapport with Beth and having her sort of know how I work, knowing how she works. And so then eventually, I feel like I got the accent better, more consistently, so there were less corrections. And when that happens, then my nerves are able to be calm, because it's the more corrections you get, obviously, as a sensitive actor type, you're like, oh, okay, then I'm not doing any of it right. Am I doing, so once you get through like 5 lines and it's like, that was great. Oh, good. Then, yeah, okay, then you can get into the flow, and you're not sort of in your head about, what correction might be coming, or let me get this absolute, because you don't, in acting, it's not about getting anything perfect. It's about being in a moment, being present, giving yourself to this character in the moment. So, but with an accent, there is a measure of perfection. So and I'm a bit of a perfectionist, unfortunately. So it's hard for me to get out of my head anyway.
It's a good thing that doesn't run in your family.
Oh yeah, it's a good thing. Oh God. Terrible. It's terrible.
Chris, asking Erica about expectations, was it the same for you? Like, obviously, you've done so many big roles. You've taken, I mean, we talked earlier in the War Table about you being Kratos, right? There's expectations to that. To step into Black Panther and be T'Challa, are there nerves at this point in your career for that kind of thing? Or you're just like ready to go and deliver?
Well, the thing for me was, the negotiation process was quite long, and so the first thing I said was, I'm not going to do a voice match. It has to be whatever I bring to it, and whatever is honest and in the moment for me. Uh, I voice matched someone like 20 years ago, and I felt dirty. I felt I'm not kidding. Not only
Oh no, I believe it.
this man had a beautiful voice, but for whatever reason, they wanted to go someone who could do a voice like that, but cheaper. And I said, right then, I quit that job, and I said, I'll never do that again. It's a disservice to me. It's a disservice to this other performer who is scratching and clawing to make his way. So going into it, I said that's what it had to be. The second thing was it can't be the Avengers come to Wakanda and save Wakanda. Can't be that. Otherwise, I can't do it. It had to be this wonderful story about Wakandans that the Avengers enter into. So that kind of was it for me. So and it didn't take off the pressure of wanting people to like it, and people to, and for it to be great, for me to be able to match my esteemed castmates. But from that standpoint of trying to do something else to copy what someone else's brilliance, I did away with that right away.
For sure. And then Dave Fenoy from DaveFenoy.com. Of course, I still have my coffee mug, Dave. Don't worry. If you didn't know, you can go to DaveFenoy.com and get your own Dave Fenoy coffee
There we
mug.
go.
Dave's
Oh,
looking at
yeah.
me each and every day, ready to go. Thank
Bravo,
you. Thank you.
bravo. He's well trained, ladies and gentlemen.
I still know how to get the plugs in for Dave. Don't worry about it. For you, Dave, like, talk about like coming on this project.
Is the gameplay spoilers over? At this point, I think so. Yeah.
You know, it's funny.
They I think ran out of time, so
And for so long, I had no idea.
we're at the interview portion now. I don't know if they're gonna have the dev interviews though. That's one thing I'm still curious about. Because people are still wondering if they're gonna show anything related to, you know, what's next after War for Wakanda. But we'll see.
I liked the character description. I really liked, so that's what I gave them. And then there was some kind of callback. There's some other lines, and do this again, and this time let's make it African. And I did. And as a matter of fact, I think at that point they were saying South African. And I went, wait, you mean that South African accent's different than the West African accent? Oh my. But I did a little research, did the audition, and they hired me anyway. Because I don't think I had that accent down. I don't think I had it down. But I liked the character. And then when I discovered that this was Wakanda, this was Black Panther, I was ecstatic. I love the idea of being on something so groundbreaking. The comic was fantastic. The movie was fantastic. And I think this new part of the game of the Avengers is fantastic. It's an awakening socially that we are a part of, that the comic book was, the movie was, and now this is.
Sure.
So being a part of that, it's beyond just being an actor. It's beyond just getting that payday for acting. It's soul satisfying, actually.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that stood out to me when we were setting up this entire launch party, right? And talking about this segment in particular, Dave, is like, you know, I've been lucky enough to be your friend for what, a decade now or something like that. I've interviewed you at
long.
I know we're old, dude.
You knew me when
We're
this
so
was
old.
This wasn't all white back then.
I remember those days. But it's the thing of, after doing so many panels with you, so many podcasts with you, so many different things, like, I don't think I've ever been on a panel with you where I was the minority. I don't think that, you know, I've ever interviewed you for a project where it was something that is this, where so many people were talking about the run up to this game, right? That like, man, I'm so excited for War for Wakanda. It feels like they're promoting it as if it's its own game. And in so many ways it is, right? Of you can buy, this isn't a plug, I swear. You can buy Avengers and jump right into it and play it. But the fact that we're talking about a game that is Black Panther centric. It is you guys centric. You are the main cast. Sandra's here strictly as a co-host, right? She's in the thing. You can play as her if you wanted to on your party, but this is a Black Panther game. You know what I mean? This is a Black video game.
This is so much a part of what's going on in the culture right now. I look at the number of cartoons and that had white actors playing black characters that are giving up those roles, and black people are being hired. Our stories are being told now in a way that they haven't been told before. If you look at historians, we are, some people knew all along, but the history of Africa did not start with the arrival of Europeans there to steal slaves. The history of Africa goes back thousands and thousands of years. We don't talk about the culture before Egypt, where Egypt got their culture from. The pyramids south of Egypt. And all, Mansu Musa, there's Nzinga, there's so many great, great, great stories of black Africans in Africa that have nothing to do with slavery. They're the same kinds of stories you might find from China, from Europe, from anywhere else in the world about empires building and dying and heroes and villains.
Right.
And
before Africa was called Africa, when it was called Kush.
Exactly. So I know for those of us who are black, who we don't always talk about that, we live in it. It's in our minds and hearts all the time, but we don't always talk about it. We show, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. But this is, as I said before, soul satisfying. This touches a part in us, satisfies a longing in us that some of us didn't even really understand how much we wanted.
That's nail on the head. I don't know how many of you socially, I would assume when we were all recording, there was a lot of social unrest at the time. So when I go to record, I just couldn't. I couldn't, because I was just so overcome by what we were in the middle of. And some days we would just talk about what was going on in the world, what was going on in America, what should be happening, and how this is affecting all of us. And I really, this being a part of this really kept me on a more even keel than I would have been had I not been doing this.
In terms of your performance, or like your life?
In terms of me as a man.
Gotcha. Does that seep into the performance? Earlier Hannah made a reference when we were talking to her that there's a one of the collectibles you could find is a diary entry from you that made her cry and made everybody on the call cry. Like, is that stuff you're bringing in?
That every character has you in it. You just got to find where it is. And sometimes it was so accessible because me as a man, I was so emotionally raw that it was hard to be in the right place for certain scenes, because emotionally I was much more raw than those scenes called for. I was much more. So you learn to take that and use it, and to be able to use what I was feeling constructively, what was a godsend, I'll tell you.
Deborah, did you find that for Okoye too? Like, obviously, Okoye I always think of as such a hard shell. Obviously, so much love behind that. Obviously, some fierce warrior behind that as well. But that's, I don't know. I feel like if me, an untalented person, was trying to perform it, I wouldn't be able to do it well. It would become one note to me, right? Even playing through what we've played through on the stream, but the 2 missions I did beforehand, right? Hearing the breaks in there, hearing the conversations, hearing the little barbs that you give T'Challa. Like, how do you find that performance and bring in what we're all talking about with all this life stuff happening around it?
I never make anything simple, because it's not. Everything has a complexity, and every time you are using that space through your body and your mind and your heart, and then it comes out vocally, the voices always last for me, because I'm always carrying and bringing and keeping with me every relationship. In fact, I don't call them relationships. I call them relationships, because I'm relating to the environment. I'm relating to every relationship. I'm relating to the past. I'm relating to the present. I'm relating to the hopes of the future. I'm relating to my intentions. I'm relating to the complexities of the relationships I keep, and all the emotion that goes with it. That goes, all right, now let's tie it all together. So it doesn't matter what everybody else knows. It only matters that I'm putting that together in this package. And at one point, when I was doing the very last thing for it, which was the narration for the promo,
Yeah.
I needed a moment to just cry, because I was crying for the pain of my king and his family. But being a warrior and having that dedication, I could not break, but I needed to be able to surrender that grief for the grief that they're trying to hold on to and be solid and strong. And so it was a moment that will never, ever be seen by Okoye, most likely not in a film. Most likely, I'm not saying it's not possible, but not in the, but most likely not in a film, and most likely not in a video game. And so it was important to make her flesh and blood through me, so I can have those emotional moments, so I can go back to that strength and have that also carried as a supplement in what I was doing. And so those things are very, very important, to have that experience and have that relationship or relationship with, so that it comes out without it being overwhelming, while it's subtle, and it becomes something that's intimate for me, that I keep with me, that I share without you knowing I'm sharing it.
How do you people do this? Like, I don't know. It's like every one of you is crying in the booth and doing all this stuff and having these moments. And I'm like, I remember Dave showing me videos of him crying in the booth doing The Walking Dead. Like, why? Why torture yourself like this, Erica? There's got to be other work you could find.
It's incredibly cathartic. As you know, as Chris was saying, it's one of those, like, if your feelings, it's a relief sometimes to go into the booth and to give those emotions to the character that you have. And it adds all this complexity, but it also heals you at the same time. So yes, there is other work you could be doing, but there is something incredibly beautiful about being able to be, there's something about it for me where, you know, sometimes I'm really shy, sometimes I'm more of an observer, more of an introvert. But when I'm, in some ways, I can be more myself, in playing different characters. I bring all these aspects of myself that I sometimes stifle in my day-to-day interactions. So, you know.
I don't know, Dave. I don't know. I'll just keep talking about the video games rather than trying to
Deborah said something very important that I think all good actors, especially good voice actors, do, is what's coming out of your mouth is the exhaust of everything else, of the acting vehicle. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are you doing? What's the relationship with the person that you're talking to, even if you're talking to yourself? Where are you? What's your condition? All those things are what you play. And the words come out based on that. But you have to have all that other stuff.
Sure.
You know, if you are a word manipulator, oh, if I say it like this, it'll that you don't find the depth and reality trying to make the words do a dance. You have to find that the honesty of your thought, of your feeling, of your worldview, of your condition, of your relationships, and now you're into something.
And that's why they got hired, because they're voice actors. It's never phoned in. They're willing to sacrifice emotionally what they have to do to be a storyteller, the consummate storyteller. And so they bring everything to the table with nothing left out, and they tell the story so that you are compelled to listen, to feel, to experience, to be a part of, to immerse yourself in. And that's the success of that game. That's the success of what they do every single time. That's why these people right here in these squares were hired. And that's why they get hired. And that's why they're amazing at what they do. Because they are invested in that, because they're invested in their craft, they're invested in that love, that passion, that power, that creativity, that willingness to be vulnerable and stitch it all back over again, to allow that truth, that authenticity to come out vocally. Right. That's why these people got hired. These are my people. This is my family. You understand? Do you overstand me now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So
ma'am.
it's not credible at all. It's very credible. It's palpable and it's powerful and it's extremely credible.
Man,
That's
she
why
is
this my
going
family. That's why
ham
we work
right
together,
now.
and that's what makes this grain fantastic. That's
I had to put
You
it
know,
on.
that
I had to put it
is-
on my mic on mute for a second to listen to all that.
Like,
That's a
that
lot.
is everything.
And the stream, I don't know.
You know, I used to get asked the question all the time about, so is it different acting in video games than it is live action? And I used to not know how to answer it. The answer is there is no difference. The only difference is in how it's captured.
Right.
That's it. If you come with the same intensity and connection and emotional availability for what you're doing, then everything else is just capturing what you're. So it shouldn't matter what form it's being captured in. And that so freed me up at just in everything, is that all I can do is approach material, first of all, that moves me, or that I have some connection to, and be honest.
And some more.
And then, however it's being captured, that doesn't really affect me, you know. So there really isn't, and my career has become so much simpler since the only way that I choose material now is if I have a connection to it, if it moves me in some way, you know, and that really, if it deserves
your attention
100%
and
of me, that's the only stuff I do, because for me, then if I'm not giving 100%, then I'm really not doing anything. Why do it?
Right. Right. Exactly.
So wait, I have a question on that, and I know we're running out of time. But for you, Chris, you're talking about you only do stuff that moves you. We're talking about, you know, Deborah auditioning and not knowing it was War for Wakanda, not knowing it was Avengers. Were you approached and they were saying, "Hey, we want you as Black Panther," and then do you get it? Okay, so then, like, what about this story moved you?
Wakanda.
Wakanda.
The relationships of these beautiful Black people. To be one of the gatekeepers of these characters. That's what we are. And once I stopped thinking about how it would be perceived or not wanting to do something right after I'd done something else, and realized that I was going to be part of this group, but also we are part of a larger group. We are the gatekeepers of these characters that have been around since 1966, and that is a very humbling thought and an emotional connection to it, you know. And we get to interpret these characters in the way that we want to, and honestly feel like they are unencumbered by anything else that someone has done. So I you know, I just feel incredibly fortunate. I was going to say lucky, but I don't ever say that anymore, because this business wants you to believe that you are lucky. That fuck that. Oh, oops, sorry. I work
It's
my.
YouTube. Do whatever you want.
You're lucky
It's
that
a launch
you work,
party.
You're lucky that you work so hard to get it.
Yeah, you know.
That's funny. That's hella funny.
Circumstance and yes,
On a
but
CD
we have
business
all
branded
worked our asses
stream.
off for decades to be good at to be great at what we do. So I don't apologize for it anymore. This wasn't by happenstance.
Yeah, he was in the moment.
That I get to share this screen with these wonderful people. This
That was
is
funny.
the
That was
sum
funny.
of decades of work, of decades
Chris
of working
Judge.
at it. So no, I don't think anybody here is lucky to be working.
And that's why nothing is incredible. It's extremely and very powerfully and amazingly credible.
I think you all are very credible. thank you so much for joining us today. I mean, Chris, Dave.
Was this what you expected?
Yeah. No, I've worked with Erica. This is our first time meeting, but like everybody else I've worked with or been around on a panel or something, I knew what I was getting into. They were like, "How much time?" And I'm like, "We could do the entire 3 hours with just them. Don't worry. What you want to give them, it's fine." Thank you all for obviously your amazing performances. We're all excited to play them.
Thank you. What an honor. What all of you.
I was about to say the same thing. I'm so happy to be sharing screens with these great performers, great human beings.
Yes, and thank you to all the folks of Disney and Marvel, because Marvel isn't just a franchise; it's an inclusive universe.
Right.
It's an inclusive universe.
Miss Beth
It's
McGuire.
a boundary breaker since 1966. That's incredible. I'm sorry, that's extremely credible. That's
Extremely credible. Extremely credible.
African characters, and
How was the gameplay and stuff? Gameplay, phenomenal. We didn't get to see everything, and I still think that they're gonna show maybe a short segment of him in the harm room or training room, one of the two, so we can see kind of what other stuff he can do. But I mean, personally, I'm in love with the combat already, so they didn't have to impress me much with that. Gameplay, I'm only going to see a mission and a little bit of the second mission, so we'll have to see.
Yes.
But I would have to say the characters intrigue me more, in that all the actors and actresses' performances. I'm incredibly excited to see what they've brought to the table, because they all seem like they're really proud of what they've done and brought. So I know it's going to be incredible.
I made a mistake. This should have been the final panel.
Screenshot of that.
Here, everybody put it back up. Hold for the screenshot. All right, they got it. Thank you all so much. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow in Wakanda.
Thank you.
Take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're now going to switch over. We're going to do the harm room. We're going to bring in AJ. We're going to bring in Scott. We're going to talk about that. Sandra's going to turn her camera back on. Scott, AJ, feel free to turn your cameras on. Hello.
Here we go. All right.
It's a tough act to follow, Scott and AJ. I hope you got something. I hope you
Oh,
got
wow.
tricks up your sleeve.
I've seen that guy before.
I was watching that. We'll see.
AJ, he's been on the FKNA podcast before, I believe, and that's kind of where we got our little extra, little tease about Spider-Man that one day. Scott Walters, Sandra Sauter's back.
The way to get started is by listening to talks like that. So incredibly moving. So thank you so much to the actors who were just happier. If you can hear me, thank you for moving me.
Of course, if you ever want to get voice lessons, you can go to davefenoy.com, and Dave Fenoy will sell you a mug and some classes. But I digress. Scott, AJ, welcome to the stream. How are you?
What's up, guys?
I'm curious what they have to say, because
Scott, you of course.
We've seen AJ before.
You of course work on this game.
I
You
mean,
of course have had some involvement with this here Black Panther. What do you do?
So I'm a senior designer on the combat team. I've been working on Avengers since it started, pretty much. So pretty much anything that a player does on the sticks with the character is what I do. Traversal, combat, making all of that stuff feel real good.
Okay. And then AJ, what about you?
I am a senior animator here at Crystal Dynamics, and been working on Avengers same time, the entire time of its existence, and it's been a blast. And yeah, we're responsible for all the motions you see.
I gotta turn the game volume down. I can't hear I barely can hear shit he's saying. I've never seen these people before, so I'm just nodding my head like I know them. Well, Chris Judge did well, he's been in a lot of stuff, but oh my gosh, they gotta turn this volume down. From what I've seen him before in is just God of War, but he's been in a lot of other stuff. Deborah Wilson was in Fallen Order as Seer or Siri, however you say her name. I'm sorry. And Dave Fenoy, this is the first time I'm seeing him, and Erica I'll say Erica. I don't want to say her last name wrong. Those are the two I'm newest to. So,
things that
man, this is kind of loud.
Often that really stand out, and players or fans would identify with.
They gotta turn the game audio down.
Every other media as well, movies, games, cartoons, you name it, just to find out. Like, I mean, Marvel
So they
fans
take a lot of
are,
inspiration
you know,
from
they're
things.
fans
Okay.
of just the MCU. They're fans of just
We know that
Sure.
one move is
Or,
from Civil
you know,
War.
kids growing
Yep,
up
yep,
that
that
watch
one
the
right there.
cartoons, you know, or I watch the cartoons, so.
Yeah, don't put it just on kids, right? Don't put it on
Kids, no.
But yeah, like, you know, people have different exposures and access to the Marvel stuff. So, like, there are fans from all walks, and it is a matter of making sure that we identify those iconic things and bring that to the screen. That way, when they play their favorite hero, they feel like it's actually that hero. So.
Hey, Kev, real quick too, for Tech at Home, they were saying the game's a bit loud. Can we get this?
Okay, so it wasn't just me. I was like, nah, it's definitely a little loud. Turn it down a lot.
Go through,
You don't really need any audio in here
From
anyway.
cartoons, from movies, whatever it's gonna be. Then what is it? Just a giant whiteboard? Like I can't even begin to fathom how this goes into production. AJ, like, where does that go? Where does that start?
I think you nailed it. Whiteboard or
Yeah.
sticky notes on my computer. Since we work off site, I'm a huge fan of sticky notes, but we won't get into that. Yeah,
You're looking for that post-it note sponsorship right now.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think we just look at all of that material, and then we kind of look at our hero design, to Scott's point, and we kind of see where things can slot in, where things make sense, where.
Okay, these are level 100 enemies.
Organic in that sense, but we know that we have light attacks and heavy attacks and sprints and so on and so forth. So you do start to kind of find, I guess, channels or places where these things can live. But it is, again, a very organic process, and I think it's a lot of fun.
Oh, that's the Dora Milaje summon right
Obviously,
there.
We're doing this harm room. We're doing with a level
So,
Black Panther. I want to call out.
so
how much I love having
you can summon
Dora Milaje
Bass
on the ultimate.
and the Dora Milaje.
What is that? That's max
So
level
it's
once
2.
you level it up all the way?
You don't have to get all the way max level to get that one. I think it's like level.
It was power
50
level
when you
150,
get that, like,
Black
once you
Panther.
Get that specialization option. So if you want to get that right away, that's something that you can sort of spec into. We put some level gates on some things to try and help guide players on, like,
Okay,
hey,
so that's-
in the first 5-10 levels you should pick up these. In the first 15 levels,
Interesting.
look at this stuff. And so
I mean-
that's basically where we set that up. So yeah, if you
Okay.
really like that one, you can. I think as soon as you hit 15, you can pick that one up.
As cool as Black Panther is, you'll have to cut
So
the
then,
volume down. Yeah, they did.
What
They did
about
finally.
Black Panther, I think, is most
There's
exciting
not really
for me.
anything they need
Obviously,
volume
being
for
a
in
long
this
journey
anyway.
here. I'm sure the work continues on other things. When you look at it now, as you see, the final version, ready, again, pretty much final. This is a debug kit. Nobody knows what could happen to it. But when you see it in action, what stands out? AJ, what do you love about the character?
Oh man, that's a loaded question, Greg.
You do love the character, right?
Oh my God!
You gotta sound a little bit more
I do,
peppy,
and I think
bro.
It was just a privilege to bring him to life on screen. I mean, I actually wrote like a whole thing about this, but I'm just not going to read it because of words. But it's like,
no, read it right now. Pause. We will
I don't
stop.
like
This is your launch
reading.
party, sir. This is
All
your
right.
launch party, sir. If
Call
you
him
want
out.
to speech,
Call him
we
out.
hear it.
Pump him up, Greg.
I'll
Hey,
try.
well, I need to get
do
Deborah
our
back
best.
in here. She'll pump anybody up.
Oh my God! I know she got me so hype. I loved it. No, I just said it's a lot of things when you bring something so iconic to life, such as Black Panther. I mean, it's a privilege, it's an honor, it's extremely exciting, and we've heard it through the stream today. He has such a following. We just want to do that justice. We want to give the fans what they want, what they deserve. And I'm one of those people, to be very clear. So that's the passion that hopefully you see Scott and myself we put into this, and the team, because we care deeply about living
Stop
that
teasing me
power
with Black
fantasy
Panther. It looks so
as
good. Well,
but yeah, we just want to
you are actually under 24 hours. You can play him yourself.
feel. And I would put huge
Unless he
emphasis
can't
on
play
that
it all tomorrow,
feel
but
like Black Panther.
tomorrow it's
I
out.
think it brings out some of the
And we move after getting more for Wakanda. We move on to
yeah, I'm just
whatever
extremely
future
proud
endeavors
of
they
him.
have
I
with this
feel
game,
like I was
because
in, like,
this
toddler
pretty
when
much
I was
is
in the field, we did this, but it's
marking
like,
the end of year one.
he's not my kid, so that's not it. But it's like this thing you curated.
You're
and now
putting
it's
this
in the
thing you
world.
made out into the world. I get it.
Yeah, and it's just so fun to watch you experience other people's reactions, and it's just a labor of love. And yeah,
You can
I'm just
tell
excited.
in all aspects of this expansion, you can tell that it is totally created by people who love it.
God, his combos look so phenomenal. Like,
Now, Scott, one of the things we're talking about that I've always
I really wonder how
thought
how
about and I had a good
range
answer
is
for,
incorporated into this a
is
lot, because
you
he only
talk about
has
how good this feels and
2
how
attacks
much
that
you
really
nail
can
with
dish
Panther
out
and so on and so
range
forth.
damage, as far
How
as I
hard
can
is
see.
that to make different characters, add them into a game with an established roster, but make them feel unique? I know even myself on podcasts leading up to it, right? Like with Clint and Kate, I was like, oof, 2 Hawkeyes back to back. Are they going to feel different enough? and then we got them, and I do think they do feel different enough. I do appreciate playing them for different reasons. What do you do when you're like, all right, cool, we're gonna bring in a Black Panther, and like there was already a question, right? Like
he can hang on
one of the
walls.
things immediately was like, does he play
That's
like
an
Black Widow? Does he
interesting
play like Cap? And
gimmick,
it's
considering
like,
Spider-Man,
like,
you know, is likely
no,
going to
but
have that
yes,
same
but this,
ability.
but that, like, he feels
But
unique.
it's just a matter
How
of
do you find that balance and not
how
feel samey?
often will you see yourself really holding on to walls like that?
When we look at it, it's pretty much, you know, we have
Spider-Man
that
be like,
list
if you
of
think this is cool,
what we
wait
need
till
to
I
have
come
for
out.
characters,
I mean,
specific things in order
we'll
to
see if he ever
function
does.
in our skeleton that we have for the game.
I'm very
but
curious to see what they've done for
where
Spider-Man.
we
Like, you have
go,
no
okay,
idea
well, what does it, like,
how
do? What does it look like? I think
much of a
that's where,
mystery
you
it
know,
is at this
we
point.
look
Like
at the
Black
work we
Panther,
have the animation team, like,
you can
really,
put together some general ideas of what he
add
could
that
possibly
character
be,
on
but
that
like
layer,
Spider-Man
you
in
know,
a game like this,
he's
it's
very
kind of hard to
acrobatic,
say.
He's very agile in his moves. There's lots of flips and lots of kicks in his attacks, lots of strong hits. So it's a lot of that, and then just anytime we look at the function, it's how do we make it different? How do we put a spin on it that fits within the character's moveset? And oftentimes that is looking at just what the moves are, and like, well, this does
Dora
this.
Milaje Salmon again.
You know, like the spinning claw. It's like we really wanted
So what
to
do they?
have that,
What else
that
do they do
savage
though?
sort of like claw mechanic for his combat.
Why are they
And so,
going
you have
like that?
attack
are they
where
imbued with the
you
energy of?
spiral up,
Oh
and,
no,
he's
it's.
got a lot of those.
Is it
Like,
Dora
like
Milaje
strike
like
moves, he's got
spirits?
another kind of like very
Like the
agile,
Land of
very,
the Dead?
You know, multi-hit based attack.
Because they are
and
more
so that's
spiritual
power.
looking.
Also,
AJ,
just to add in, I do
yeah,
think.
please.
Sorry, Greg.
No, I was gonna drive it right back to you to get your opinion on that. So go for it. Yeah.
I think that a big part of it is the stunt actors or the mocap actors that we hire as well. I mean, Scott and I will talk about that. We get some really talented individuals to get in the mocap suits. I forget what you refer to them as, Greg. What do you refer to them as? Ping pong? What'd you say?
Oh, the ping pong ball suits. Yes.
Yeah, thank
Ping
you.
pong ball
So, when they
suits.
get in those
Gotcha.
suits,
One day the technology is gonna evolve beyond that, and I'm not gonna. It's gonna be a sad day for me to lose that.
I hope they still just put ping pong balls all over them just for the laughs. But yeah, finding really high quality stunt actors who embody the character. So sometimes we reach out to people that you may know, or you don't know that you know, but you know their movements, you know things like that. And yeah, we reach out, we get them in the studio, and then we just give them a flurry of attacks and combos and motions to do. And that
I
drives
really want to see
a
this
lot
Sonic gear.
of the character that you see, the specific things, like how he walks, how he carries his
And I'm
shoulders.
surprised they don't have any
Like,
of this
there's just
build,
so
but I guess they want us
little
to experiment with that
intricacies.
ourselves when we
Mocap
get it.
provides a lot of that. If you have a good actor, then it becomes a fun game of mocap versus keyframing, which is another thing. Like, you got to make stuff feel awesome, so it's a whole different battle. But that's where you get a lot of that initial like foundation, I feel like, and it creates a lot of that uniqueness that you get from character to character. So.
Hey, Greg. When you get a chance, double tap R2.
Nice try.
Oh my gosh, Greg, bro.
I'll start it up again though.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do? What is
Oh,
it?
you had
Thank you for
your-
saying stuff like that, because
yeah,
remember, I've never gotten to play with a main one, so I'm like, I think I'm doing well.
Quote unquote,
I
I've
heard
never
you
gotten to
don't
play
like
as him.
block,
Sure.
which is kind of
I totally
the
believe
thing
you, Greg.
For Black Panther.
Yeah, I like
You
ping
guys
pong.
on that.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
huge
you're
aimbot was
gonna-
beating him up. Oh, the
Sir,
exosuit?
I've
Yeah.
beaten the most challenging stuff in the game. All right, I'll make it right.
Sure.
Don't worry about it. All right.
No, I'm sure you got it. I just on your road to 150, you might want to block a bit. He has a lot of mechanics around blocking and parrying.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, Greg,
yeah,
you need to
when you're
parry a
choosing
little
either
bit more,
sword, like,
dude.
If you double tap R2, he triggers that big kinetic AOE, and then he buffs his melee damage for a short while. And you can keep building that meter up, and so you can kind of keep looping that inside the combat. And
Interesting.
you'll
Okay,
find that
well,
you deal even
I'm
more
about to
damage.
abuse the intrinsic burst in the gear a lot. That's what it sounds like. I'm about to abuse that. I'm basically about to do a Thor.
Well, what else? Yeah, I mean, like when you're, I mean, obviously we're
The same
so
thing I got
fast,
for
if
Thor
you're
right
doing
now,
that
an intrinsic
tomorrow, you
burst
got a bunch of 150s even tomorrow.
that allows me to
What,
infinitely have an
what do
intrinsic
you look
meter
for? I mean, when you
fully
look at the
maxed
skill
out.
tree, when you think of the moveset, what stands out to you?
You know, I think that players that are really going to get a good grasp on how Black Panther plays are the ones that really kind of keep up that buff and debuff.
All
sort
right,
of
double
system.
tap R2, Greg.
Unlike a lot of our heroes, like, you know, we always give our heroes like some way to buff or debuff enemies, but he's really the first character that really leans into that. And so.
Oh yeah, what is the
through
major
his
artifact
block
we're getting?
mechanic, like, that's
I don't think we know.
the many buffs that he has. And that he can
Usually
buff
we
himself with, and
get
then
a
the heroics do a bunch of other
new
ones.
major
And so
artifact, don't we?
I think seeing players like really grasp that loop.
I know we got one
and
with
pay
Kate.
attention to
It
that
was
cycle and
the
sort of keep that rotation up is going to be interesting.
He's from the
to see
book
if
of
they really dive
Ashanti,
down
I
that
think.
far. The daggers, even the basic.
When
ranged
Black
attack,
Panther comes
if
out,
you
I want to do
throw out a
I want to
couple
do
of
that
those,
on something
it'll
quickly. Double
actually
tap
make the
R2.
enemy take more melee damage.
Yeah, release the
Each of
kinetic
those
energy
itself,
that you built up.
apply a debuff for
Oh, there it
couple
is.
of seconds. Yeah, so you'll see them stick in, and it'll glow purple for the basic ones, and it stacks up to 3 times. There's some gear perks that increase that number.
Interesting.
But just doing that, like as you're running towards the enemy, is a great way to sort of set them up for combo damage.
Okay. Okay.
These are good pro tips. What are the pro tips you got? AJ, what are your pro tips?
Probably intrinsic attacks or whatever. Scott, did I refer to those correctly? What do we actually call them?
Yep.
Intrinsic attacks?
We call them intrinsic attacks.
Okay. Probably those because they're multi-hits, and I absolutely love them. And I think we've
Alright,
reached that with
double
Panther
tap
more
R2,
than
Greg.
Hero thus far. So once you channel your ability to use the right trigger and trigger those attacks, then I think it does a lot for him because he does them from the ground, he does them from the air. It feels very visceral. It feels very chunky and good, which I love.
The good kind of chunky, exactly.
The good kind of chunky.
And that was something, you know, to your guys' credit, especially today.
Yeah, no, those are like spirit
Didn't
world
have the right words for I think on the podcast, but that's actually a pretty good way of like. Black
ancestors.
Panther
I don't know.
feels
They're
chunky.
not.
You know what I mean? Like he feels like
alive.
He's got the muscle behind everything he's doing, and he looks it too.
When you hit people,
The photo mode is finna hit pretty different.
Like this cadence of like, and I mean, you feel it, right? That's what we talk about with things being visceral. You could make him move and twist all day and spin all day, but it
Bast
doesn't mean
chosen.
It doesn't feel like anything. So that's why I'm a big
I haven't
fan
seen
of it.
him
I also
yet
love Pounce.
show the kinetic
Pounce
energy
stuff
thing.
is huge. It makes him feel like Black Panther, in my opinion, and it's just a lot of fun to see him just jumping on people and wrecking them.
Okay, now you want me to double tap R2 when I get a chance?
Yeah, Greg, we've been waiting.
I was gonna get some guys.
Come on, Greg.
Clear this way.
Oh my gosh, Greg, I just want to see it.
Yeah, and you'll see those intrinsic attacks when you do the ultimate heroic too. So normally that's one other way you can use your energy is to hold down R2 while you perform the attacks.
There we go.
But
Intrinsic
when you're in the
overcharge,
ultimate state,
repeated
you
use
just
of
get
it.
those
Oh,
for free,
well,
and they
that's something
automatically
different.
get triggered.
Percussive blast.
That's true. I trigger his ultimate all the time, so that's probably why I'm running around holding X and I'm just slashing everything.
Yeah, so that he gets his energy clause during the
Okay.
overcharge state there.
Okay, well, I have to relearn everything apparently. You guys keep adding cool stuff to this game, and I don't know. What I'm doing
Well,
with Black
well,
Panther
Greg,
yet,
you
but I
just,
will.
you just gotta actually
150. AJ, are you gonna help me?
look at the, you know,
Everybody, you
the
know, I don't wanna- I'm
definitions
not naming
and
names
gear
or anything,
perks
Scott, but I
and
want you to know that AJ plays with me and
skill
you don't
perk,
play with me.
you know, skill description. You just gotta
I-
read it. That's all you
play
gotta
so
do.
much on our dev builds. I don't have any, unfortunately, 150s on retail, but I'm
kidding me?
trying to set some time aside.
Okay, well, AJ, I need you to coach him through it, all right? We'll get him in there eventually with us.
We'll get Scott there. He needs to be there. It's okay.
All right, guys, it's time for you to sign off, believe it or not. I'm going to bring on Morgan Gray here in a second. But before you go, is there anything you want everybody to know for War for Wakanda coming out tomorrow? The deep sigh from AJ. Like,
You don't know what to say.
I know it is, man.
Have so much fun. We love Panther. We had so much fun creating him. Please go play with your friends, assemble, and just that's what this game is about. So just have a lot of fun, please.
Yeah.
We want to see it.
Yep. Enjoy the combat. Enjoy the exploration. I think the team did a lot of really good work, and fans will be really happy with it.
I'm thrilled. I can't wait to play more. So thank you guys so much for all
Man, tomorrow's gonna be a good day. I swear to God.
AJ, I'll see you online this weekend.
There's-
Later.
All right.
I don't know how you
so
can.
who's that? We're
Can't
gonna
like
bring
this,
over
bro. Come on now.
Morgan Gray coming in here to close this out. Sandra, can you believe it's been 2 hours and 40 minutes already?
It's been 2 hours. The
Yeah.
fuck?
What's up,
Hey, guys.
Morgan?
Ain't no way.
How's it going, guys? I've been enjoying the stream so far.
Good. We're doing all right.
Yeah, I'm doing well. Like I was trying to do like a $5, $10 like put the donate button. I couldn't find it, so
It's okay. You don't need. How does that work? If you donate to Crystal Dynamics, does that just go back to you?
It's like I wouldn't say it's a mining town with mining script, but there's similar. No, it's horrible. I shouldn't say that.
Damn, they zoomed in on him quick. They were like, "No, we got to
Morgan Gray,
zoom in
we're
on you,
bringing
man."
on, but before we even get into it, what do you do here? Why are you here to close out this stream?
Tell us about it.
I submitted a raffle ticket, and so I am the I'm the lead game director.
Hey man,
on
hey
the
man.
Marvel game. So
People really
that,
fall for that.
What that means sort of
Me included.
differs, I guess, depending on who you ask. But in general, I get to work with almost every single person on the whole team in a combination of creative collaboration, leadership, empowerment. I like to build some shields around people, and let them do their thing. Along with the project management aspects. It's sort of the, when they have that line, other duties as prescribed by management, that's kind of the big aspect of my job, sort of trying to help keep everything moving in the same direction from a creative standpoint to an operational standpoint, and getting to work with almost everyone in every studio around the world and making sure that that happens.
Interesting.
So no big deal,
Okay.
no pressure.
Interesting. I'd love to know more
Lots of
though.
pressure, but also not a big deal.
I, you know, this is the part of the stream that I've been talking about and all the lead up to it, right? Where I wanted to talk about where Marvel's Avengers has been this past year, obviously since launch. Talk about War for Wakanda and talk about what's coming. So, of course,
What's
we're running out
coming?
of time,
Okay.
And I will then start with a patented Greg Miller long walk.
He's
Mr. Gray.
okay.
Are you aware of one Vanessa Carlton, the musician?
Listen. It's going to be a dud of a question if they don't say anything about after War for Wakanda.
When I saw her
Okay.
most recently in SF, she came out.
It-
ladies and gentlemen, Vanessa
I
Carlton,
don't think they're going to
she
show
came
a
out,
roadmap right now. It
she
just
sat
doesn't
down,
seem likely they're
she
running out
pulled
of
the
time,
microphone
and it
in, she
just
said,
seems
"I
kind
find
of
it
like
best to
a
get this out of the way in the beginning."
dead end question if you
Went
ask me.
right into it, that was
Unless
fine.
they start talking about like the patrol mode and
I feel like we should
the
just get it out
cloning
of the
lab
way
ulti, as
because
well
I've seen
as
it
some
all day
other
long in
improvements
the
that they're
chat
working
for
on
3+
with the game.
We'll
I don't
start
think
with
they're going to
number
talk
one.
about future
What
characters.
can you tell
So.
us about Spider-Man?
Oh, hold on.
Working on 'em.
Okay.
I could say that. We're working
Well,
on 'em.
there you go. We're working on them.
He was bit by a radioactive spider.
Oh,
one time as a
well,
young
the
child,
tease.
and then
That's great.
power came great responsibility.
Chat's losing it because there's no news. Yeah.
I mean, I could say more, but I kind of want to stay employed.
That's fine. No, and we're not trying. What I'm doing is I want you to give as much as you can give, so the chat understands what you can give.
Greg, you
I mean, the chat doesn't care.
We're definitely. I will say we're definitely working on him, and a decent portion of the team every day is making sure that all their focus and intention is making our favorite wall crawler web slinger cool, and looking forward to seeing him play with the rest of our cast.
And then the next question, that again, I feel
no dates, the teasers, nothing super tangible. So we.
Oh man, that one. So that I can honestly say that conversation goes well above my pay grade, and it involves a lot of talk between our brand, Marvel, Square Enix, and so.
Oh my god.
I tell everyone that many of the things people are interested in, like we listen to the threads, we listen to all the.
Oh, see, they listen to Reddit, guys. They listen to Reddit.
Great combination of positive feedback and some really well-earned critique. A number of the things that people are interested on, we're paying attention and trying to make sure that we're tackling them.
Okay.
In the order in which they were dialed is my favorite joke on the team. But I think others have to decide when we want to tip our cards and show what the next number of months forward look like.
There you go.
It's not even my job to do the roadmaps. I don't have to feel so guilty, but I can say like
hey, man.
a lot of us also want to get that roadmap out to the world because one, we like people knowing what we're working on, but two, we read the threads. So there's a lot, there's a lot of us sometimes that are like, if I could just make an account and I could go and just kind of tell people, and that would be cool, right? The answer is no.
And they were like, no, that'd be cool when you're in the unemployment line. Like,
yeah, you'd be getting sued too.
See you at GDC.
So then let's go back now, right? Okay.
Well,
talk to me about
I told you guys, dead end questions.
Right.
Nothing really tangible there.
You know, and I'm fibbing a bit, right? But almost a year since the launch of Marvel's Avengers. What has that been like, launching this game that you guys
oh my
had
gosh.
to go into a global pandemic with, and then continue it through a global pandemic, then figure out how you're going to do not only working across the globe as you were with studios already, now work from home. I mean, like, this is nightmare stuff for anybody, let alone a game that's going to be online all the time.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, I guess firstly, the thing that needs to be said, which is, every one of us allowed to continue to be gainfully employed while the world's hit with a pandemic and people are losing their livelihoods, some their minds, and sadly too many their lives. Like, we got no problems. Like I got to put that out. Like, this is all blessings. This is all like good days for all of us because a lot of people have been impacted terribly. So So I got to say that. Then onto the game creation thing. One of the harder things, I guess, is just the anyone who's done anything creative, even if it's just played a board game with friends, it's really awkward to try to sort of make music with people that you can't see. That aren't in the same room. So learning how to keep the creative energies going and collaborate when your only window to others is now a small screen and a camera, and maintain those relationships, let alone build new relationships, because we've hired people during the pandemic. There's people that I'm close to now that they might as well be a pen pal, because I've never met them in real life, but we've been up till 4 in the morning talking problems, solving bugs or whatever, and now they're like family to me. It's been interesting. I think the thing that is, there's a lot that could be said about the inefficiencies and how difficult. The thing that no one was really factoring in is it's the practicalities, I think, of the experience of closing a game out and working on post-release content. People limited by their bandwidth. Our game, in a development environment is humongous, gigs upon gigs upon gigs. You have to pull that thing down over, what might be good for your YouTube or Twitch streaming is not the best when you're N number of hours waiting to pull down something so you can quote unquote work that day. So these sort of oddities, right? Like the hang-ups with people's intermittent power or with blackouts, or there's been frosts in Texas. There's been world events.
Hey, they're not wrong. They're not wrong. These are the same things that everybody was trying to explain months and months and months ago. I guess you guys got to hear from the guy himself.
Really being on the same level playing field. There's no in-crowd. There's no, well, the people in the main office get to do blah blah, and the rest of us get scraps. Everyone got equalized, and that I think really helped build stronger relationships across the world. That allowed people to understand better ways to communicate, because you had to. And in many ways, I think we've become a better team because you can't just use inference and body language. You have to be more diligent, more specific, and really put the effort. And especially when there's a miscommunication, you have to do the big thing of call someone up and be like, hey, I think you misunderstood me. So these things have been, I think, mixed blessings, but positive. Sadly, I think, as everyone has noticed, the hard thing was all of our timetables and all our projections. Who knows anything? It's it blew it all out the window. So it's made scheduling the way problematic as we try to learn.
Understandable, yeah.
For at least myself, 20 years in game development, I'm wow, this is new. We've never had to do this before.
So then, how much of a, gut check moment was it then to put out roadmaps that had dates on them again, to put out, to say that Black Panther's coming in August?
It was a big moment. There's a lot of people who keep the lights on and pay people's salaries that wanted, concessions and confirmation. And there's a lot of, I think on us in the team being well, we think we can do X, but we can't be certain. And there's sort of do you say nothing and be too cautious? Do you become brazen and be screw it, we can do whatever we say, just throw it out there, we'll make it happen, and then probably in the middle, there's a bit of best guesses, using what metrics we can, and a little well, if we burn the boats, I guess we have no other option but to solve. It's kind of a mixture of all the above. But the real deciding factor, right? Because it's not like we're releasing retail product in these expansions we've been working on, right? We don't need a secure shelving space. There are logistics, but it really was there are a lot of people playing our game, really want to know what's coming down, where we're putting our priorities and what they can expect, and we have to give them
exactly.
commitment. And if the worst thing that happens is we have to tell them we're making adjustments in part, if not whole, then so be it. That sort of came down. I was a big advocate on that side as well, which is don't want to tell anyone something and not follow through, but at the same token, can't play it so safe that we say nothing, because then we're not helping anyone. So ultimately we said we think we had a pretty good understanding of what we could commit to and the order in which we could do it. So let's get that out there, and then let's all just
in the order that they could do it. That's key information there.
And I think I can't speak to what your.
I think that also you're gonna have to think about that in terms of other future content too.
Having it be
what they think they can do, and
getting delayed, the pandemic and everything else, I think really did a couple of things that was super interesting. Where it was that I saw you guys learn from that, right? Where it was, I put up a video on our YouTube channel, right? The day before your last big Square Enix presentation, where you put out the roadmap and you started a roadmap and started doing it. And I saw you guys since then really lean into, cool, we will over communicate. and we will tell you like, hey, yeah, I watch the dev streams and I see the stuff come up from the chat and they answer it like for real, and it's a lot of times like that's a great idea, or yeah, we're working on that, but there's no timetable. And I know for a lot of fans that can be frustrating because they love the game and they want to see it, but I think for so many other people, it's just nice to know they're heard. That's
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
didn't
That's
expect anyone would respond to fans.
Yeah.
But you guys have been really great about that.
That's, I mean,
that's
the quote I
that's
would
like
say is
exactly
we
what
may have
people
our
have
own
asked for
opinions,
since the
we wanna
beginning,
have
and
them in
it's
the game. They're irrelevant.
again
People who
since
spend their
last
money,
May
they get to say whatever
in
they want,
2020
and,
they
you know,
have
it's the most relevant.
significantly
Even if it's absurd,
improved
it's
their
whatever. They love the
communication.
game. You bought a megaphone. You can, thank you so much. And and both positive and negative, it's still like something we spend a lot of time looking and reviewing and talking and thinking about, just to make sure that we feel like we're in line with what people want. Now, clearly, we can't just do everything anyone wants at a drop of the dime. We have to sort of put it in a cohesive strategy because like there's a lot of practicalities. I think no way, not making excuses, but I don't think people always understand the lead times on creating things and the number of trains moving at the same time. But in general, like you feel, I think across all of the leadership, like 100% beholden to making sure that we give the fans, the things that they think are important, and something cohesive in doing that. So it's not just this random buffet, but it takes all the input and goes through. And we've been very excited with the reactions we've been getting as we've been trying to fulfill that roadmap. For the things that we were hoping would hit well, it did, and where we had goofs, we're like, okay, well, we'll learn from that. But Cap gives us the quote, I can do this, I can do this all day. Like we just every day. Some days we say it's enthusiastic. I can do this all day. Other days it's like, I can do this. I really
I guess I have to do this all day. My livelihood depends on it.
But it's a treat, right? Like grew up in comics. My first job ever as a kid was in a comic shop. So like playing with the legacies of these luminaries, who creators and everyone that's contributed with it. Like we're both we're creators of the game, but we're fans ourselves, and so. It's a great privilege to be able to play in the Marvel Sandbox for sure.
So of course this is the War for Wakanda launch party that comes out tomorrow. You already know that. You heard of this? Yeah, Black Panther.
Oh yeah. I'm familiar. I'm familiar with it.
One of the questions I had, but actually was asked over on the subreddit thread I put up, comes from Joker Faces #2. Says, "Hey Greg, I'd love to know their thought process behind doing Black Panther and Wakanda as the game's first big expansion. Was it more about wanting to add Black Panther as a playable hero, or more about wanting to let players explore Wakanda, or a bit of both?" We talked to Hannah, which seems like days ago at this point in this stream because we've been going so long, having a great time. But she talked about that outline, and you guys knowing you wanted to get there. How did you decide on Black Panther? How did you decide on Wakanda? How did you decide on this being bigger than what we've seen with Kate Hinckley?
Sure. Well, like one of the cool things when you
Let's
talk
hear
about
it.
like, the
Let's
Marvel
hear it.
universe. And people sort of, they focus in on heroes, they focus in on certain villains, sometimes they focus on locations. But the cool thing is it's generally all the above, right? It's like a package deal. You get every hero has some nemesises that you probably like. There's generally, there's locations that you associate with them, and they're fun. And we knew we wanted to have a canvas that freshened things up from where the game had taken place before, whether it was like, in the locales with all the AIM stuff, moving away from the, some of the AIM factions, and there's so many places we could go, but that was one of the big, like where could we go where we could get a more of a background setting, get some great affordance for enemies and a villain and a cool hero, and Wakanda quickly came to the start of the list. It doesn't hurt the fact that like Black Panther, kind of since Civil War, was a huge impression on all the MCU movies, right? So the late and fantastically great Chadwick did an amazing job portraying him on the big screen and building a huge number of fans. Like many comic nerds, like I grew up with Black Panther as one of my superpowers being having a lot of superior melanin. I really saw myself. It's one of my great superpowers. I enjoy it. But I liked Wakanda. I liked the unconquered super science nation. I liked the legacy, and I liked the combination of the mysticism as well as the technology. And I think for many on the team, that canvas that Wakanda was able to bridge from the hard, cold science of AIM to the high technology of Wakanda, infused with an aspect of their cultural values as well as the mysticism, seemed like a great location. T'Challa as a hero is fantastic from a playable standpoint. Having that super agile brawler was a good mechanical inclusion, especially moving beyond the archers and moving beyond the flyers. Like T'Challa's just fun to play. And then I don't want to. Probably things have been spoiled, but the villains, when you think Claw, who comes along for the ride, is also exciting. Big personality, being able to bring in some bad guys that can have their teeth both into the history of Wakanda itself, but T'Challa personally, that the player could resonate. It was like you take all those things, we're like, yeah, this is the place to go. And also, it was again, we like when the Avengers at the top of their power isn't the most interesting story to tell. So the Avengers coming in, as slight strangers, and coming to seek the help of T'Challa and Wakanda was also a fun canvas for us to play with their development. And then it's fine. I could ooze all day. The interplay between the characters, each of the conversations, and sort of where the story goes. It's some of the best. I think experiences that the game has offered to date. It's probably some of the best writing and delivery that I've seen in video games for a while. I mean, there was an exchange you guys played earlier. I won't spoil it, but there's some wisdom about being the other that comes to play. That when I first heard it in game in its final voice acted form, and you did a fantastic job. through Kamala, I got misty, and I'm not Clint Eastwood kind of tough as nails man, but generally 11 a.m. on a Tuesday at work, I don't find times to get like a little misty eyed about like how games can deliver some heart. But some heart came through, and so all those things I think make this made this a great choice for us, because they're a great canvas to spring from where we left the plot line.
Yeah, bouncing off of that, I mean, at this point, we all know the Avengers really well, and their personalities, and of course, what the voice
How much
actors
time
bring
is
to their
left with?
personalities. But now you have these
They've been
wonderful
streaming
new
for
characters, and we all know how
almost
royal
2 hours.
T'Challa is. So all of these conversations that
Just leave it on this one.
occur, yes, like the new dynamics are so great. I'm starting to remember my exchanges with T'Challa, and you're right, they are pretty striking.
I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it all. And that's out when I get it tomorrow. Of course, don't worry about it. You can play it too. 8 a.m. Can't see it at school. Can't school.
Greg, don't
cancel
act like
work,
you don't have it
stay home,
downloaded
whatever
already.
it may be. So, Morgan, are you ready for the lightning round?
Yeah, let's do it.
You're running out of time over here. I know you got things to do. Of course, you
talk
gotta
fast.
Ready for a thing. So I have quick questions, and then my big question to end it. All right. So throwaway over on the subreddit said, are the new enemies exclusive to the Wakanda region and will only appear in missions within Wakanda?
Currently.
Okay.
Currently, okay.
And we saw it because there's also
Interesting.
then the corrupted event's going to be kicking off too, right? The corrupted. I've been talking for 3 hours and I'm just blanking.
Corrupted vibranium.
Vibranium. Thank you so much.
Fucking train coming on here. Oh my goodness.
That's popping up all over the place, right?
That is, yes. Yeah, the things discovered there, they light the spark that sends our Avengers over to Africa.
Jumpman23 wrote a question, and I was like, when he wrote it, I was like, I'm not going to use this question. Then you sneaky developers over there the other day put out a little pimp for, hey, guess what? On the 17th, you can get a new Captain America skin from Avengers. Right, just from the Avengers movie or whatever, and I was like, that's interesting. Jumpman23 says, Greg, can you ask him if they'll be releasing Black Panther inspired MCU skins? Now, before you freak out and say no comment, I don't know, it's above, yada yada yada. Everybody calm down. My question would be. The question would be, like, I personally, we can take it to the Captain America skin coming out tomorrow. I thought the MCU stuff was just going to be Endgame and you'd be done with it. It seems like there might
I was
be
kind of
more
hoping that too.
the
I was kind of
possibility.
hoping that was it.
Is that fair?
I think, how to definitely do. I think the demand and reaction to the MCU skins that we put out clearly indicates where we should be putting our focus.
No.
For the future.
No.
I can say that.
No.
That's a fair way to say. You don't know for sure. And you can't
No, that's not.
I hear you.
No. No.
This is one that's
In terms of quality, yes. In terms of continuing to make MCU
dude,
outfits,
like I was
no.
talking about before, when I was in the press thing and I got to actually see some of the marketplace, and I was like, oh my gosh, these look amazing. You sneaky devs turned it off, getting ready for tomorrow. Let's see what you're up to. Let's see what you're up to.
Things.
And then, to end it,
Oh
I'll
my
give you my
God.
final big question, all right? We talked about this year. We've talked about the launch. Obviously, I've interviewed you folks before on panels and whatever about.
I just gotta say,
different
okay,
directions.
like,
now we're talking about
yes, in the direction of seeing that the response of the outfits are awesome. People like that it's accurate to the movies and they represent what the movies had. The quality is what people like about them,
capitalization happening from there.
and they want to see that reflected in outfits that are from the comics, and not more recolors and not more, original outfits. People want to see more comic outfits.
More new things.
No more MCU outfits. Okay, like take a break. We got Endgame. I was thinking that they were gonna take a longer break from Marvel or MCU outfits, but it appears not. So honestly, I kind of hope that's not what they meant by that.
Bosses, villains. Every hero needs villains. So villains that require more tactics and thoughts to fight. You saw that in the Monica boss release not too long ago. You see it in the boss fights as they play in both the campaign. I got my cat here.
I was gonna say your Black Panther is joining you.
Black Panther's here. But as they play both in the story campaign and as we look to the future for more like hardcore high-end multiplayer content, making sure we're bringing those villains to the table and having them resonate on the tactics, on the sticks is something that's important to us. Keeping our eyes at the various entry points. So like clearly, we have players that are like at end game level in the movie, but in their journey on most of their heroes, and they're looking for high end content. We have people who are coming in fresh because they're interested in everything.
Yeah, people who are
so focusing on
soloing the old
teams. What people's needs at all aspects of their journey, whether it's a new hero or high end hero, is something that's important to us because now we're maintaining a lot. And I think the focus on the sort of reward side, the gears, the abilities, like what it is that you're getting as you progress and how that applies to a single hero or even your roster heroes, and focusing more on that is something that's where our attention goes for the future. And in all things, like I said, people want the full Marvel experience. So looking at the heroes, the villains, the enemies, and the locations that ooze the universe. And continuing to push ourselves to tell stories that fill of the universe, but add to it as well.
Right on.
Oh yeah, that
Cool.
sounds good. That's exactly what I want out of this. Morgan, congratulations on a year. Congratulations on War for Wakanda tomorrow, and congratulations on the future.
Hasn't been a year yet,
Thank you
Greg.
guys so much.
Not yet.
Definitely appreciate the time, and I look forward
In a few weeks.
to
In a few weeks,
the
it'll be a year.
unleashing of the Wakandas and everyone's ability to play and let us know what they think. It should be fun.
Dude, I'm so stoked for streams tomorrow and videos on YouTube of just 4 Black Panthers tearing people apart.
It's gonna be a thing.
Exactly, it's going to be a huge thing because, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, War for Wakanda launches for Marvel's Avengers. Remember, of course, it is free if you own the game alongside the Clint DLC, the Kate DLC, the Omega threat level. I could go on like this for everything Marvel's Avengers has added over the past year, but tomorrow's the big one, War for Wakanda, the Black Panther storyline. And believe it or not, Sandra, that has been more than 3 hours of you and I talking about
3 hours?
Can you believe it?
I can believe it.
It's supposed to be a 2-hour stream.
I had a great time. Yeah, I had a great time. Oh my gosh! Anytime you get to see Dave.
Oh yeah, I love watching it. I'm willing to say, like, a Greg and Sandra forever should be a new entire show. I think you guys have assembled, even, as it were.
I'm down to do an Avengers show with Sandra anytime. Don't worry about that at all.
We'll
Of
make
course,
a
you have to
great
come back.
pair, Greg.
Yeah. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's your time. Again.
That's it.
I'll tell you right now.
Wow. What a
Have a great
kind of
time. War
quick
for Wakanda out tomorrow, 8
stream.
a.m.
I
Eastern
just,
Pacific time across
there's a
all
lot
sorts
in
of
there
platforms.
to be happy
You can get
about.
it there, free from Marvel's
Like,
Avengers. Of course,
listen,
wherever you're
I
watching
think it
this,
was a
whether it
stretch
be
to
twitch.tv/Crystal
hope
Dynamics,
for
whether it be twitch.tv/Crystal
a roadmap.
Dynamics,
I
whether
mean,
it be the YouTube
it's
channel for Play
War for
Avengers,
Wakanda's
like,
moment.
subscribe,
It
share,
makes
so of course
sense,
you don't miss any
that they kind of
war
just
tables. Hopefully other
hold
war
back
parties
on that
they'll have us
stuff
back
for now.
and all sorts of stuff. But
You
no
know,
matter what,
give it at least
until next time.
a week and a half. Maybe wait till the official anniversary of the game to reveal something. But yeah, just this stream did what it needed to accomplish in terms of pushing and launching War for Wakanda, which I appreciate. But yeah, with that, the stream, dang, just like that, they just said bam, end. But with that ends the launch party stream. That ends our reaction stream. It is so crazy to believe that he comes tomorrow. The DLC, I mean, I'm pretty excited for it. Like, I just want to get into the game tomorrow and just play Black Panther before I even play the story, because there's a lot there to uncover for sure. And the story, I'm very, very intrigued to see where they take it, and if they do tease anything about what's happening next, you know. But again, it's Wakanda's story. I don't know why I said it like that. It's Wakanda's story though, and seeing that journey is going to be pretty amazing. But with that, I'm going to get ready to end the stream here. Appreciate anybody who came through both on YouTube and Twitch. And tomorrow we'll be streaming again. Gonna play the whole DLC live on YouTube and Twitch again, and we're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be fun, and I will catch you guys in the next stream. Don't forget Discord. I think we're gonna do a movie night today. Potentially going to watch Black Panther. But yeah. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next stream or video. Check that YouTube. Exclamation YouTube in the chat for Twitch. And of course, you know, if you're on YouTube already, you can just go to the channel and look at the newest video. It's a recap of everything that's happened so far for the main story in Marvel's Avengers. And if you need to get caught up, there you go. And I'll catch you guys later.